Yo, what's shaking, man? What's good, everybody, man? You know what it is, man. It's your boy, Unpopular Opinion Sports, back with my brother, Coach Ed Gladney, man. And we back to do this thing, you know what we call it, Heart of the City, where we go around all New York City area sports, man, touch on every team, news, notes, you know what it is, man. But got a little rundown today, man. But before I do that, want to check in with the chat. Want to check in with my co-host, Coach. How you doing tonight, man? What's good with you?
I'm good, man. Just chilling, working, doing what I got to do, and ready for another fun-filled action. You know how it gets down with the
You
most unpopular, opinionated man out there in the YouTube world, and the sexiest fat man you'll ever know. So let's go, let's go, let's go.
no doubt, man. Appreciate that. All right, man. Shout out to the chat, man. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. Salute to you, man. What's good with you? What's good, man? So we got we got some things to talk about here. Of course, got the WNBA draft as coach so eloquently called. And we'll touch on here later on in Coach's Corner. So shout
Mhm.
out to the ladies, man. It was a big draft. It's a lot of excitement going on in women's sports and the WNBA. So
Mhm.
definitely definitely want to
Mm.
hear about that. Of course, we got the Yankees and Mets both in action right now as it stands. Let's see. Let's get the score up here for you. Um, it's 3-1 Blue Jays, and then the Mets are down 1-0. I'll update the innings for you, but those are the scores right now. 3-1 Yanks. I mean 3-1 Blue Jays over the Yankees, and then Mets are down 1-0 to the Pirates. So we'll be monitoring the baseball scores for you tonight, chiming in and giving some thoughts on the baseball teams as well. Big news, of course, in the NBA as the Brooklyn Nets hire Jordy Fernandez. I believe that's how you pronounce his name as the next head coach. So we will be talking about that. I'll get my thoughts on how I feel about the hire. Of course, we're gonna be talking about the NFL draft, because draft season is here. The draft is next week. Can't wait. I will be there, man, live and in person, man, along with the big blue crew, Big Pat, and G Nation Inside Sports. So we'll be getting into that, but I want to lead it off, man. I want to lead it off here with the talk of the town, the talk of New York City. Everybody's hyped up. Everybody's, fist bumping and all that going across the city. And that's the New York Knicks. That's the New York Knicks clinching the number 2 seed in the NBA. New York Knicks clinching the number 2 seed in the NBA. It's been a while for the Knicks here, that high of a seed. Um, and to win 50 games is a great accomplishment, man. Shout out to Tom Thibodeau and the coaching staff over there for the Knicks. Shout out to Jalen Brunson, man, and that team, for showing effort. Not a Knick fan, but I would give credit on this show, you know, as respect to the respectable Knick fans. Can't speak for all of them, but but so they'll wait. They'll wait the winner of the Philadelphia 76ers Miami Heat matchup. And this is really interesting, coach, because the Knicks, I believe, won both season series with both of these teams. They beat the Miami Heat. It looks like 2 out of 3. And Philadelphia, they Yeah, they beat them 3 out of 4. It looks like. So I'm interested to get your thoughts on how you feel about the potential matchups and what matchup do you think um favors the Knicks better? Is it Philly or is it Miami?
As far as who do I want to see, I mean, it doesn't
Mhm.
bother me either way, to be honest with you, because
Okay.
if you really think about it, I mean, I'd rather have a tough test early on because it'll prepare you and get you going if you
Mhm.
advance. And you know, the further you advance, if you do advance, so you know, you get the in a sense you get the difficult ones out of the way. You don't try and run from them. You don't want to avoid them. And plus, Philly and Miami, they're two tough-minded teams. You know, tough defensive. You know, it can help the Knicks in the long run in preparing to move on to the next round. Because imagine they do if I'm not saying they will, but
Mhm.
if they were to get by either one of those squads and move on to the next round, you're possibly facing the winner of Milwaukee and Indiana. So
Mm.
that's going to be tough.
Milwaukee don't have Giannis. I heard about that.
Is it
So
for the whole playoffs or the first round? Because I heard it's the first round.
it's at least the first round, but we'll
Exactly.
see.
Yeah.
So
So
that's
and
gonna
it
hurt
still it just prepares you and get your mind ready. I mean that's one of the biggest things. Um, getting your mind ready, for the playoffs because it's going to be a grueling tournament. I mean, especially you're playing both Philly and or Miami, and more than likely it's going to go 6-7 games. I mean,
them.
and that's it's not going to be like it's a cakewalk. It's going to be a fight. So you have to be ready for that and the level of physicality. And this Knicks team has shown all year round they're not going to break. They are going to will themselves through all the injuries that they've been through this whole season, and to be number 2 in the East speaks to you know Jalen Brunson first and foremost, the other players, DiVincenzo, Hartenstein, OG. I mean, you can go down the list. You know, everybody's contributed one way or another. Even for Bogdanovich, I mean, he's starting to step up a little bit more. I mean, everyone is contributing in one way or another. And when you deal with all these injuries, other teams will break. They will give up. You lose Julius eventually for the rest of the season.
Mhm.
Teams would just give up. Well, we lost our number 2 scorer. One of our leaders. And it would be an easy excuse, but they fought through. And that's why in the playoffs, for me, is they show that they're going to fight through. And whoever they're playing against, you're not going to have an easy fight, even if you were to end up winning the series. You're not. I'm sorry. You're not going to have. Yeah, you're not going to have an easy win. You're going to have a tough fight.
Mhm.
Going up against the Knicks, and that prepares them going into the playoffs. Along the way. So and if you were to make it to and I know a lot of Knicks fans are looking that far ahead. If you make it to the Eastern Conference and possibly playing Boston, you're going to need to be tested. You're going to need to play games like that. Either a defensive struggle or against teams that are offensive minded. And that's what the Knicks really need to do. So playing Miami or Philly doesn't bother me. One way or another. As a coach, I'm gonna be honest with you. I want to go against the best. And if I go
Mhm.
against the best, that brings out the best out of me. And
Okay.
that's just the way I see it. This theory of oh, you want to play, you don't want to play against tough
Mhm.
teams right off the bat. No, yes, I do. I mean, if
Well,
I
who do
want
you
to
think they match up? Not saying you got to be
match up,
scared
is
of the team.
Miami,
Okay.
Miami,
Yeah, that's.
Miami. And if I'm going to be honest, it's going to be Miami because
Mhm.
Philly, in terms of point blank. And B, they're not
Yeah.
going to see a center like. I mean, and no
Mhm.
disrespect to Bam
Mhm.
out of bio. He's not. He is definitely not MB.
Mm-mm.
So
No.
that's the biggest thing. And then you do have to add in Maxi. You definitely have to add in Maxi. I don't. sitting here looking, and I forgot who it was. I was watching somebody who brought it up, and whatchamacallit is with Miami is without Rozier. It was
Yeah.
Mitch. They're
Okay.
without Rozier, and they might have to start whatchamacallit, who's with you guys with the Nets. What's his name? Patty Mills. They might have to start Patty Mills.
Oh yeah. Good luck. He
Exactly.
don't play
So
no defense.
that's the thing. So in terms of Matt, now the thing the Knicks can use to their advantage, and I'm not saying they're at Embiid's level in terms of talent, but you can go 2 to 3 levels at the center spot, and you can get physical with Embiid.
hmm
So that's an advantage that
And I mean,
that.
he's coming off an injury, so I mean,
Hmm.
you got to take that into consideration too. The one thing I will say about Miami is they always seem to turn it up come playoff time, and if they get rolling, man, say they go ahead and take care of what's the name the Sixers, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying, and then
Hmm.
they come into the Knicks arena, ready to roll, ready to rock and roll, then I mean, I don't know, man. You might want to be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how they are, man. Now, you said Rozier is out, right?
Yeah, that's what Mitch was pulled
How
up
long is
today.
he out for?
I don't know. I just know he just said that he was out and that they probably were going to have to see Patty Mills.
Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Check the Twitter chat, Lou, for the link. But yeah, man. I don't think that the Knicks necessarily want. I don't know if you want that smoke, man. I kind of would rather play. Well, because Maxi is tough to deal with too. I mean, he could go off, man, but I think Jalen Brunson would kind of neutralize him, man. But I don't know, man. It's just something about Miami, man. They seem to turn it up, in the playoffs. So, but
It says the link is not. Hold on, let me see.
it's there. I'm not putting it in this chat because I'm not dealing with a bunch of people coming up on this panel tonight. I'm tired, yo.
Yeah, yeah, bro. I see it. I'm just
Yeah,
looking
it's
at
it's
it.
in there,
It's there.
Lou. I'll send one to um your personal
Where?
stream, whatever. Yeah. All right.
So, what was your thought about that Method Man's daughter's?
Yo, that joint hot, man. I wonder if we could play a little bit of it. Let me see if I can pull it
Mm,
up on Twitter. Let's see.
all I gotta say is, yo, that she's definitely. I don't know. There's part of me that's like, yo, she might be better than her dad.
I don't know about that.
I, it was just the way. I guess it's a different flow. It was just like, yo, damn,
Yeah.
she's bringing that fire.
All right, there
So,
you
but
go. You muted.
for me,
Nah, you muted.
I
Lou,
said,
he's
yeah, I know
muted.
y'all didn't need to
Oh,
hear.
oh,
okay.
all right. All right. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Just
Just play a little bit, yeah.
yeah,
You
yeah.
don't
I'm
have to
not
play
going.
play the whole thing. That joint was fire. What's up, Leaf?
All right. Can y'all see? Let me take
Yeah, I
that.
see it. Just can't hear anything.
I know. I gotta
You
I
know they're
gotta.
gonna copyright you, bro. Don't do it.
All
Man,
right.
I'm not monetized anyway. Doesn't matter. But nah, this gonna be a short clip. Uh,
Here, take some of that. Take half of that. Put it in Tupperware. Here.
all right. All right.
Just trying to break down the line. Yeah,
Ye-
yeah. Sway in the morning. Shy. Yo. This sound like 150 in a S class, speaking on my name while I'm on to the next bag. Tell them hoes stick to what they best at, showing less ass, cooking shit like a meth lab. Walk on beats, I don't need antics, killing these hoes. I ain't trying to spare shit, rather be catching a tan, getting pampered. Niggas know I'm in here, no dandruff. Can't fuck with no. I got standards, I got edges, walls, manners. They can't stand it. Bagged by Jill Sander, designer drip, confident. Hoes better catch up like a condiment. Old niggas trying to break one. No, attention to the comments.
All right.
Yo, man.
All right, that's enough.
That's what I got. Yo, man. That's meth.
spitting.
That's meth seed. That's meth seed, man. That's definitely. So
Said he couldn't go to Maury. That's coach at NYG.
Oh shit.
what's up,
Lee,
Nimar?
yeah, I sent it to you on Twitter.
Go ahead. Huh? Nah, Patty.
Yeah, we gotta talk.
Tribe said, what up, y'all?
Yo, what's up, man? How are
What's
you?
good, bro? What up?
Yo, but yeah, man, that hip hop, that was fire, man. Man.
Yeah.
Sheesh. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing her maturation in the game, man. You know, as we go forward, man. All right, yeah, Lou, you, when you scratching like that, it's time for a cut, bro. It's time for a cut.
I just told my brother he got to cut me up. I got to cut his hair too.
Oh damn, I didn't know you do hair. You cut hair?
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up. What's good, Nimar? What up? What's good with you, man?
My I ain't well. This set of locks. I mean,
That's how we started out as kids. You know what I'm saying? I cut his, he cut mine.
Man, I got growing up with two other brothers. We ain't cut each other damn hair. My pops took us to the damn barbershop.
Mom and pops wasn't there. We had to figure shit
Yeah,
out.
no, I got you. That's fair.
Iman, what's good with you? What's good
up,
with you,
Iman?
man?
So, but yeah,
Talk about these Knicks though, man. What's
go ahead.
your thoughts, man, on the New York Knicks? New York Knicks.
I will say the one thing I will say, because you know how much I have killed Dolan, Tibbs, Randall throughout this time. So, and I have to give them much respect. I mean, Dolan for all his antics.
Give him no respect.
Nah, I mean I have to right now, because they gave us a 50 burger right now, man. Come on. You know, and we number 2 seed in the East. So, and this year has not been drama. This team has been fighting through so much adversity and doing what they need to do, winning, putting the fear in many other teams throughout the league. They're taking their respect. So, yeah, that's what I mean by I have to do that. As much as I kill them, I have to, at least on this other side, be fair and give at least Tibbs. I mean, Dolan, he's staying out the way. That's why I'm saying that I got to give him that respect. He's not in the damn way. So, you know, for a change, he's letting Leon Rose do what he needs to do. Leon Rose is showing that, you know what, he's definitely a top executive with how he's running this organization, building this organization. I mean, that OG trade, hands down, is probably one of the best trades the Knicks have done in the longest while. Man. I mean, I know people, you know, didn't want to lose quickly and RJ, and understandably, but I mean, OG has come in here defensively. He's latched on to what Tibbs wants to do, and he's made it so much easier for Brunson, you know, on the defensive end. He's made it easier when Julius was here for that short moment on the defensive end. So, you know, and then to be able to sit in the corner, you're spacing the floor, allowing guys to attack the rim and kick to him, and he consistently will hit the outside. Yeah, I got to do it. And Hartenstein, I mean, he's elevating his game, man, and he's earning some money, you know. And as a Knicks fan, you know, it's going to hurt if he leaves. You know, I mean, you know, and I can't be mad at the man, because if he's going to get, you know, $13-15 million, I mean, you know, unless Leon says, you know what, I'm going to do it, I'm going to pay him, and I'm going to have two $15 million centers. All right, you know, whatever. I wouldn't care, you know. So that's why I say I got to give them the respect. That's me.
Leaf, what's good, man? Welcome to the show, man. What's good with you, bro?
Ain't nothing, man. What's going on? Just had to turn off.
Brunson Leaf in the building. Let's roll that up.
Nah. That's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
That's
Not gonna
old
happen.
school right there, though.
What's,
Fonson Leaf, that's old school.
yeah, that is old. Yeah, that is old school, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. My uncle put me on that. Rest in peace, man. He before he left this earth, man, he put me onto that. He's like, yo, let me show you something. I am long story, long story. But um, shout out to Coach, man. Shout out to Pop. Shout out to G Nation.
What's that?
But I'll be honest with you, bro. Listen, it really darkens my heart that I really have to give some type of hats off to what the Knicks front office has done. As much as it pains me to do so, bro, like I just have to do it. Obviously the Brunson move is turning out to be one of the best free agency moves in the team history, and the OG Anunoby trade is turning out being one of the fast track trades, and probably since Larry Johnson. If I had to say, Larry Johnson made me scream well.
That
So
LJ move was phenomenal, bro. I was
that,
for all that.
yeah, the LJ move was phenomenal, but unfortunately, we're talking about the Knicks. And this is where it stops. Yeah. I have to remind people that we're talking about the Knicks. The Tom Thibodeau way of doing things just doesn't work against other good coaches, such as such as Eric Spoelstra and Nick Nurse. The thing that they do very well is adjust, and they use defensive schemes to figure out to neutralize simple minded offenses like Tom Thibodeau runs, bro. All you got to listen, if I BS anybody, I bullshit anybody not. You go back and look at the 2012 Bulls. This is almost the exact same play style. I'm saying the exact same shit I saw 12 years ago. It's heavy isolation. It's the point guard, whether it's Brunson or D Rose, heavy isolation up the top. Uh, 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 move on the left side. Make sure you have them around the shooters, bro. Like, but the thing that Miami, teams like Miami with Nick Nurse, Miami with Eric Spoelstra, and teams like Philly with Nick Nurse do, is defensively they know how to they know how to not get destroyed by that strategy, and they know how to do it very well.
So that being said, Leaf, who do you think? Which one you think is the better matchup for the Knicks if you had to pick one of those teams?
I would say Philly, just off the strength that we all know Joel is going to break down. But I think it would be in their best interest to pray to all the heavens and the earth that Miami doesn't win that game.
I'm telling you, Miami is a
because
tough.
of Miami. Because I'm telling you, listen, it's almost like the Fury Wilder fight on the first fight. I'm like, yo, if you couldn't beat them you couldn't beat them while they was half healthy, you ain't gonna never beat them. That's just what it is. You can make all the moves you want. You can put all the shooters around Brunson all you want. It's not going to happen because the offense is just too condensed. You can't go ISO heavy on a team that's well coached. You just can't do it because eventually they're going to figure you out, and eventually they're going to execute, and they're going to have better players to execute with. Now, the thing that the Knicks do well is that they do the little things well. They do all the dirty work and the little things well defensively. And they like to impose like a physical style over the teams that they beat. If they're struggling late in the season with teams like the Bulls and my Nets and getting into dog fights at the tail end, I don't see how Miami is a favorable matchup for them. I think they can beat them, but like it's to me, if Nick Nurse does half of the work that he did in Toronto when that the year after when that team lost Kawhi Leonard, and he was taking teams to 7 games, and teams like Boston to 7 games in the bubble and everything, bro. Like, listen, the Knicks is not going to have no easy ride to no conference finals.
Well,
Everybody,
I agree with you. We're not going to have an easy ride. That in NYG would say. I just said that. It's just I get where you're going in terms of the ISO ball. Yeah, I agree with that. But one of the things that I think that Brunson is smart, very smart. Like he'll use Hartenstein and even Mitchell with the pick and roll, and it sets up a lot of the other guys like DiVincenzo. I mean, DiVincenzo has eaten off of Brunson because of that. I mean, and it forces the defense to, especially if Defoe is starting to hit, it forces your defense to stay. And if you got OG on the other side, and if you bring in and if he's hitting in terms of Bogdanovich, they have the 3-point shooters to make it hard on the defense. Now, if they're not hitting, yes, you're right. Their teams collapse the lane. They definitely do, and they make it hard, and they get physical with Brunson. And everyone knows he's always trying to draw the foul, and he starts to get a little frustrated with the referees. But in the same token, there's just something about his moves, the way he attacks it. I mean, he even with the offhand sometimes going to the rim. I mean, oh, go ahead, Lou. I'm sorry.
Y'all hit the damn like button and the subscribe button, man. I just looked. Y'all got all these people watching the 2 damn likes. If y'all hit that damn like button, damn ninja watchers.
All right. All
Yeah,
right. There you go.
facts,
You
Lil,
heard it,
facts.
man.
Yeah, you heard the man.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but
go ahead, Leaf. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
the reason why I don't think that particular style is gonna work, because the thing is, Miami does well is not only do they get back on defense in transition, they also run off shooters. They also know how to run shooters off the 3-point line. So the thing is, man, like if you go look back at this, if you go look back at the times that they did get beat and they got out executed, it was only in the Denver series, man, when they was forced into mismatches when they had Aaron Gordon. And now
Mm-hmm.
you dealing with a team, you dealing with if this matchup happens, you're dealing with a team that's not going to be like easily intimidated, bro, by the OG Ananobis and all of the physical style of
Mm-hmm.
play
Mm-hmm.
that they
Mm-hmm.
like to
Mm-hmm.
do, because Miami, like, they know how to match that. We talking about a team that last year, bro, everybody like to talk about how they shot 40% on contested threes last year to go all the way to the finals. The year before that, when they made it to the conference finals, and they was one shot away, they didn't do that. In the year in the bubble, they didn't do that. So the thing is, they don't need to soar to these incredible offensive heights to beat teams to beat a team like the Knicks, because the thing is, the Knicks have what I call a crashing style of play. Why? Because Tom Thibodeau is a crashing play style of coach. He's gonna leave him out there, man, for one too long, bro. Like, and we're gonna find out who can be coached and who can be out coached
I
in this
think
series.
I think in this series, a series like Miami, and even you could say Philadelphia, but more so Miami is where the Knicks will miss Julius Randle. And the reason I say that is because Miami's gonna give you that physical, tough style of play. They're gonna match that Nick energy. You know what I'm saying? And to me, when you have a team that likes to attack like that, like to me, you need another player besides Brunson to put pressure on their defense. You know what I'm saying? And OG's cool. I mean, Hart and all these guys are cool, but they're somewhat not as consistent as you would need them to be in a playoff game. I feel like.
And that's my sentiment exactly. Because the thing is like, now you have to, like, now that the Knicks is done beating up on all of these sub 500 teams, now they got to get in the series against either one or two teams that actually know how to make adjustments, with coaches that actually know how to make adjustments. They with coaches that actually know how to read into schemes, and with coaches that actually run stuff and have multitudes of things, bro, outside of just maybe the point guard running heavy ISO. You don't
Mhm.
see that with Miami. You don't see that with Philly unless they got Joel. And when they do have Joel, they running a lot of off ball action with him and Maxi, and a lot of give and goes with him and Maxi, give and go action. And that leaves a lot of the divers to the basket, a lot of them open. So now, one thing about Joel, he brings the centers out. Bam kind of
Mhm.
brings the centers out as well, because his mid range game has gotten a lot better. So now, once you bring that element out of the paint, now basically you're leaning on OG Anunoby to have the Jimmy Butler matchup, or have the maybe the matchup with Maxi in the first round, which would be good for them, but if Joel doesn't play. But the bottom line is the Knicks better pray that they get Philadelphia 76ers.
Well, I mean, like I said, as I
Right.
told NYG earlier, to me, I don't care who I get. Bring up, play out one right after the other. I mean, and it's not arrogance. It's, you know what? If you want to win a championship, you got to work for it. Plain and simple. Now, on the same token, like I told NYG, I still want to see, because right now Rozier is out for Miami, and I forgot the other one is Duncan. Duncan is also out. Now, I don't know if it's just for the against the Sixers or if it's for the playoffs. I just know that Mitch was talking, that he pulled up the roster and it showed that they were out. So, that also takes and that lessens their bench. So that's why, to me, it's like, I mean, I get where you're going with the adjustments. Yeah. I can't take anything about from Spoelstra or from Nick Nurse. I mean, number one, they're championship winning coaches. They done what they needed to do to win a championship, making all the adjustments. But the Knicks don't just play one way offensively this year. In the past, yes, but I mean, I've seen a little bit of everything. Do they do a lot of iso ball? Yes, they do. They leave it in Brunson's hand, but Brunson and for the same factor, the Knicks have never had a point guard like him in the longest run. So he controls that offense and he puts
Who
guys in.
is stepping up to take the last shot if Brunson is double teamed? Like, who's your
DiVincenzo.
okay?
It's
All right.
probably
DiVincenzo,
I would probably say DiVincenzo as well.
yeah.
But the thing about a lot of the guards in this series, and like DiVincenzo, OG Anunoby, like the thing is offensively, the more half court sets that they get in, the more they're gonna play to Miami's game, because the thing is Miami knows how to execute offensively in a half court
Mm-hmm.
set way
What's good,
much better
Mosley?
than the Knicks do.
Mm-hmm.
Even and especially on the playoff level, and they've proven that in the 3 runs that they made to the conference finals, and two of them led to the finals. So the reality is that the Knicks a lot of the pieces outside of Brunson, they're good. They're
Absolutely.
most of them are going to be neutralized for the most part if Miami's locked in defensively. If Miami is locked in defensively, but like they've been over time, then those pieces around Brunson are going to be neutralized, and then it's going to be up to him to turn water into
Well,
wine,
that's
bro.
what I'm
Like
saying. That's where Julius Randle would come into a series like that, and I think Julius Randle, would put pressure on that Miami
But now,
front court as well.
and that's
You
why
understand?
I said earlier, Bogdanovich is also going to be key then in that regard, because Bogdanovich can take it and do what he needs to do off the dribble. He can get his own points and he can do
He
a
can, but
lot.
is he going to be
No,
consistent?
consistent, and that's why I said earlier. Remember, I said he has to be consistent
Mm-hmm.
because he can do a lot. He can hit the outside shots. He can dribble, penetrate. He can kick the ball to the open guys. So if he's on and he's doing that, then that takes the pressure off of, just like Leaf is saying, that takes the pressure off of Brunson, and that just adds another dimension to the offense. So yes, he has, but the last couple of games he has been stepping up. He has been starting to play, and he's been
Mm-hmm.
playing a little bit more with confidence. He's been hitting the outside threes. I mean, I have to admit, I mean, his Euro step, for some reason, I'm like, yo, where the hell? I hadn't seen anything like that. Just
we talking about DiVincenzo?
no, Bogdanovich.
Oh yeah,
Donovich.
yeah, yeah. By Bogdanovich, like if he could get a mismatch
Mm-hmm.
from somebody in either series, that would be a plus. But it's far fetched for Miami, because Miami, they don't just know how to make adjustments; they know how to dig on the bench and find somebody that's going to contribute as well. So the thing is, like, and we seen that plenty of years, man. When
Excuse me.
they basically took Kevin Love out off of Cleveland and turned him into a factor. We
Mm-hmm.
seen him do we seen them turn Caleb Martin into a legitimate factor on a team, and making runs with him. So the
Mm-hmm.
reality is that Duncan Robinson, them missing Duncan Robinson for a series may cost them. Maybe Terry Rozier missing them for a series. I'm not too gun ho on Tyler Hero, but the thing is, Tyler
Mm-hmm.
Hero, bro, he could get hot and get cold at any given
Mm-hmm.
time. But the real X
Mm-hmm.
factor in this series to me is going to be how they contain Bam, because if Bam is taking the centers out of the paint, and
Mm-hmm.
basically then you get more mismatches with Jimmy and switched on to the little guys, Jimmy's going to take advantage of that, and he's going to live at the free throw line because the Knicks are a hacking ass team, and that's what's going to play into effect.
I think it's this. I just think it's their front court period, man. Like, you got Kevin Love, Djokovic. Like, I think the Knicks are gonna have to keep them off the boards. And then number two, like you said, Leaf, the foul trouble. You know what I'm saying? Can the Knicks stay out of foul trouble with a team like Miami? You know what I mean? So,
But doesn't it go the other way too? I mean, like everything that y'all are saying
does.
I get, but it's just like what I'm getting is just like everything is strictly on the Knicks in terms of foul trouble. Miami is the same way. I mean, and as far as Bam, I mean, yeah, but he's going to have to deal with multiple centers. Now that's also going to wear him down. And then Brunson is going to pick and roll, and he's going to get.
Dealing with
I think
Mitch,
he's gonna deal with Hartenstein for the most part, but
right.
Mitchell Robinson is probably going to be used as a X factor in situations where
he doesn't give you a lot on off. See, the thing about it is who's going to make Bam work on the defense? It's got to be Hartenstein.
But
you know what I mean?
Mitchell
it would have been Randall.
That's my point.
But wait a minute. I mean, you in terms of making him work, in terms of the thing that Mitchell does, he makes this other center work on the defensive end because he's a phenomenal offensive rebounder. So that Bam has to contend with that. And then don't forget, you still also have Precious. Precious is not as big as Hartenstein and as whatchamacallit, but he gets in there, he grinds, and he does have an offensive game. And when whatchamacallit brings him and puts him at the 5, that's also pulling Bam to the outside.
Bam away from the paint. That's also pulling Bam away from the paint. So the thing about Bam is that, like, I feel like Bam is so multi-dimensional at the center position, brother. He could get out of the paint. He could pass. He could do a multitude of things as well. And offensively, he's like he could put pressure on a lot of bigs that is not accustomed to getting out on perimeter as good as he is. So the reality is like when I'm thinking of Achua, Hartenstein, like they can be that, bro. But like listen, we can't fool ourselves by thinking Bam is going to be fooled that easy. It took Nikola Jokic to bring him out of the paint and basically turn him into a jump shooter against him and try to match Joker's offense in order for the Denver Nuggets to basically a five game gentleman sweep them in the finals. So if the reality is that if there wasn't a center before in the Eastern Conference that was or a power forward before in the Eastern Conference that was going to put more pressure on Bam, I don't think the Knicks have one, and I don't think another team in the Eastern Conference has one right now.
You said the magic word. You said one. And that's why I said there's a collective venture with the Knicks. He has to contend with not just one, not just two, but 3 different types of players that that are going to defend him, but also work with him, work against him on the other end, different ways. So he's multi-dimensional. He can adjust, but that's going to wear him down. But Lou, go ahead. I know you wanted to jump in.
Yeah, listen, it's long overdue. I don't care who we play. It's our year. It's our time. We running through all of them. It's long overdue, bro. This is a storybook ending right here. We about to smack everybody like they've been holding for us and holding out. That's what the hell we about to do. We about to run through the damn league. Where my damn bread at, bitch?
Hey, Lou, I hate to tell you, bro, it ain't gonna happen. Okay. I'm telling you right now, bro.
We'll revisit this conversation when it's all said and done. And
I just want to
say is I'm gonna put my hands out and ask for some baby pot and say, "Where's my bitches?"
All right, Lou. I'm gonna be back here come elimination game, bro. Like I'm telling you.
One thing though, I will say before we move on is the last time the Rangers were the number 1 seed and the Knicks were a top seed in the playoffs was 1994 and we know how that turned out.
We all
And
know how that turned out.
how did that turn out though? How did it turn out?
Oh,
It turned out
the
with the
Rangers took
Rangers
care of
winning the
business.
Stanley Cup
No.
and the Knicks
I understand.
losing.
And losing where? Where did the Knicks lose?
It don't matter where.
No. It
doesn't
does
matter.
matter
It doesn't
because
matter.
the
They
way
lost
we
in the
feel.
finals.
Thank you. That's my. Then that ends. I even said for the Knicks to make it to the Eastern
Coach.
Conference Finals, this team to make it to the Eastern
That is
Eastern
not an
Conference.
accomplishment. No, it's not. As long as
Yo,
Knicks
give me
fans
some
been
of what you
waiting,
smoking, bro. Give me some of what you smoking.
as
Give me
Damn
some of
sure
what
ain't
you
a
smoking.
compliment.
as long as Knicks fans been waiting for an NBA championship,
But
you telling me you gonna
lose one of your
settle
top.
for a final? I don't care.
Bro.
So Knicks fans,
Listen to me.
that
Yes,
dumb
I
down
want
their
to win a
standards,
chip.
bro.
No, it's not. See, it's
They
not
have.
dumbing down the
That's what it
standard.
sounds like.
This is coming from Nets fans because all y'all want to do is dig at the Knicks because you know
I'm not
what?
digging.
Yes,
I'm just
you are,
giving
bro.
you facts, bro.
No, you digging
I'm
because the fact of the
definitely not
matter
digging.
is, let's you want to speak facts. I said it before.
This is
Most
what we're
teams
gonna
when you
see.
lose, when you lose one of your top players, your one or two score, your leader, whatever, they crumble, they break. This team hasn't. That's a fact.
You
No,
want a
you talking
cookie
about
because
fact.
you're not
No,
getting an NBA
now
championship?
now. But see, you talking
Give them some
about
cookies
facts.
because they not
No,
getting
see
no
now
championship.
that's what I mean by what I said. You trying
Knicks
to
playing
dig
for
at the
cookies.
Knicks. You digging at the Knicks. That's it because you a Nets fan. That's what it boils down to.
I
So
thought it was
you
about.
got that.
I thought it was
You got
about
that. You
winning
got that.
titles.
No,
That's
it
what
is.
That's what I thought it was about.
Listen to me. Listen to what I'm
you telling me
saying
you
to you.
happy with a finals appearance?
That's not what I said, NYG. I said for this team to make it there, based on everything that they've been through, the injuries and losing Julius Randle, that is an accomplishment in itself. Not making it to the finals, yes, the ultimate goal is to win a championship. But the bottom line is, after the season is done, you do sit back and you do an evaluate and say, you know what, everything that we've been through, that is an accomplishment. Now that sets you up for the future. Because let's be real, the Knicks have been such a dysfunctional organization for God knows how long. So for them to have leadership that puts them in the right fucking position, that you see some light at the end of the tunnel, where NYG, you sitting here complaining about the Nets with Sean Marks, and y'all don't have any damn draft picks, and you worrying about the future. The Knicks don't look at it like that. So yes, you want to say, oh, give them flowers, give them some cookies and all this and that. Go ahead and do that. But the bottom line is right now, the Knicks are better positioned, and the Knicks haven't been like this in the longest while. So yes, we're confident and we're feeling good about where we're headed.
Knicks
and if y'all don't like
it, Tom Dallas the right to be happy. And this is what the Knicks will do to all these motherfuckers.
Well, listen, Lou, I hate to tell you, bro. Like, you know what? Listen, it's one of the main reasons why it's not gonna happen, bro. Because it's the Knicks. Yeah, I'm all right, bro. Like, it's the Knicks, bro. I've said it before, and I'm gonna say it again, bro. The Knicks' absolute best, bro, is still 10 times bad than 10 times, 20 times bad than the Nets' absolute worst. And it's going to be proven in this playoff. And it's going to be proven in this playoffs, bro, because it's going to be proven in this playoffs. Hold on, coach. Hold on. It's going to be proven in this playoffs because what stupid is, stupid does. Somehow, some way, the Knicks is going to find a way to fumble this. Right at the 1 yard line, Ernest Biner style. Everybody know what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, bro, they're gonna find a way to fumble this. Because the thing is, bro, like when it comes to certain franchises, man, I done gave you everything, all of the X's and O's on the court. I done gave you all of the situations. I done gave you everything else. You know, I forgot to give you, coach. I forgot to give you the fact that they're the Knicks. They're going to fumble this somehow, some way. We just gotta wait for it. It's the same thing I say about this Boston Celtics team that's number one in the East, man. They the most talented team, but they ain't going nowhere. You know why, bro? Because they got 2 Scottie Pippins. That's why. They don't have nobody that's willing to take over the game. They got dudes that move further and further away from the basket.
New York Knicks are gonna Tony Romo or Dak Prescott this thing.
Yeah, yes, they are. Absolutely. Absolutely, and I think most Knicks fans, and I think most of the Knicks fans
of our age that seen this happen before. We seen a whole decade of this happen before back in the 90s, and now all of these years later, I'm supposed to believe that the Knicks then got it right in the last 2 seasons, man, with Brunson and OG Anunoby, and they got a winning coach, and Dolan done moved out the way, and he letting the GMs do his job. I'm supposed to believe somehow, some way, with
I'ma
heavy
tell you.
isolation and dirty work players, man, that the Knicks are gonna
I'm about to
somehow
make you
march
a
to the
believer.
conference finals. How am I
I'm about to
supposed to
make you a
believe this?
believer. I'm about to make you a
Okay.
believer.
Okay.
The New York Knicks are finishing the story. This is Cody Rhodes on steroids.
So here. There's one thing I want to get at you, Leaf, because you said something. You said the Knicks, their best is 10 times. What was it? 10 times, basically under the
10
Nets'
times
worst.
bad than the Nets
Okay,
worst. It's
but
10 times.
you had
Yeah,
talent.
and we
You
had
had
Kevin Durant and
three
Kyrie.
talents.
Yes.
You had and you had three, and you couldn't get okay. That's coming
All
from
right,
a Nets.
all right.
That's coming from a Nets
Let's
fan.
move
You
it along, and let's get into the
Oh,
Nets
you don't
because
want to hear that, right? NY Knicks. Oh,
oh
damn.
well,
wow.
no,
You gotta hum up.
we have to move the show
No, we have
along.
to
I'm
move
not
on.
gonna
You
be
do
here
it.
for
You
3 hours.
no, we got to. I get what he's doing. Yeah.
um, Nets hired Jordy
What
Fernandez
the
as next
fuck?
head coach. Leaf,
Oh
who the fuck
boy.
is this, and why should I care?
I don't know, bro. Listen, but look. I'll be honest with you. I'm just as pissed off as you
Is
is,
that in
man.
my
We
section?
listen. Look, man. Go ahead. Look now. Lou is gonna laugh it off. I'm gonna get. Listen. Look.
Nah,
Look.
real shit. Yeah,
Real
who is this
shit.
guy?
I like real shit. I don't know who this dude is. All I know is that we got this dude from he was a developmental coach, bro, with LeBron and them in Cleveland.
Oh
When
my
LeBron went
god.
back to his second stint with the Cavs, and his recent stint was with was an assistant on the Sacramento Kings. Remind you that from 2002 all the way up until this year, he's gonna leave after this year because he's got the job. Sacramento Kings, they might as well lose tonight so his ass could get the job. It looked to me, bro, like another bald head dude, man, that they could just order around, like just tell him what to
A
do.
pencil pusher.
Yeah. Pencil pusher, paper pusher, yes man type of guy. Kevin Ali wasn't a yes man. For those that don't know. Kevin Ali got some of these young players on the court. He got Clowney on the court.
Yeah.
He got Wofford on the court. He got Wilson on the court, like late in the season, even though we really wasn't really playing for anything. But he got a lot of those young talents on the court. I don't know who this dude is, man. It seems like a yes man. I'm negative about anything that the Nets get until we get back into the damn playoffs, bro. That's how I feel about it.
I
Because
need them to get rid of
this
Sean
is
Marks. Why is Sean Marks still here? Why is he
Sean
here?
Marks is an absolute war criminal. I want him in Guantanamo Bay.
He said,
I
"Yo,
want him and Ben
God
Simmons
almighty."
to share a cell together in the deepest, darkest sewer that's known to man. I want them out of this country. I don't want them earning another NBA check.
He said
Nothing.
deportation.
Yes, I want them out. I want them gone. I want their passports. I want their IDs. I want everything, but like change their names, get them out of here. I want them literally. I want them in the deepest, darkest shitter I can find, bro. That's it. You leave them there. Ben Simmons is a robber. He is a thief. He has tried to finesse his way to all these checks year after year after year. I don't want to see him in no more Balenciaga stores. I don't want to see him in no more runways overseas. I don't want to see him with no more Italian girls, no more of these European women. Nothing. I want him gone. No more checks for him. Not one red cent in the NBA for as long as he lives after we get rid of him this season. Gone.
Damn. Woo. Hot damn it.
And it was all yellow.
Well said, Lee. Well said, man. Well deserved rant, man. I mean, this team deserves it, man. I mean, they do, man. They're absolutely an abomination right now. I mean,
the Man Cave says Jordy Fernandez sounds like another jabroni.
He is another jabroni. You're gonna run it. You're gonna run it back with Ben Simmons. You keep Sean Marks on. You know, you got the owner up there talking about making
We
money.
can't even forget about
I mean,
Claxton is
I
up
mean,
is a free agent, and
he's
I don't even
out of
know.
here. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's out of here.
if I know better, Claxton is out of here because the thing is, we
So
need a
you're
big
telling me,
we need a bigger body in the paint anyway, bro. And
y'all
Mhm.
Claxton
telling
is
me
not that. He's a
Go
rim
ahead, Lou.
runner and
that
he's a
the Nets,
weak side shot blocker.
this is the Nets we
Mhm.
talking about, right? The Nets
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, somehow, some way. Yes,
hired Joe Judge and Jason Garrett,
yes,
basically.
yes, yes, we did.
Basically, yeah.
Basically, yes.
Basically,
We
Dave
hired the
Gettleman.
baseball coaches. Yes, we did.
Dave Gettleman looks like Ernie Accorsi compared to freaking this cat over here, Sean Marks. This dude is an abomination, bro. Like he is so bad. Like, how do you have a roster this bad when you had four potential Hall of Famers on your squad? How?
Three of you had. Well, here's the thing. We had three for sure. Top 75 all time
I
talents
mean,
on our team of all time. And some and need
didn't
I
we
remind
have
need I
what's the name
even
too?
though
The dude that just retired.
yeah, Blake Griffin. Even
That's
though
what I'm saying.
yeah, but listen, even though that cast of players, they only played less than 50% of their games, maybe 40 to 30 together, and probably just a little bit over a 40% individually when they were here in the stint that they were here. Listen, that's understandable. The Nets are known for getting the players, man, that's like a little bit
Yeah,
maybe out
past their
a lot
prime.
out of I mean, listen, we hit
Over
the
the
money
hill
on
guys.
we hit the money on Jason Kidd. We hit the money on Vince Carter. Our last two first overall picks was what Kevin Martin and Derek Coleman, and
Yeah.
Brooke Lopez was our last lottery pick as far as I'm concerned. Maybe Derek Favors or somebody else, but
Mhm.
I will say this: the job that he has done with getting middle of the late first round talent, Cam Thomas, Nick Claxton, Noah Clowney, who's been good, Wilson, all of those guys. Tariq Whitehead is basically our pick for next year, because we don't have a pick for next year, so he didn't play this
Mhm.
year, so we're using him as an excuse for a pick the next year. So that's
Mhm.
really what it is. If we somehow get our hands on Zach Edey, I will be extremely happy because now we're gonna have a big body in the paint, but that's probably
Yeah.
not going to happen because we got idiots in the front office. We got
Yeah.
stupid people. We like you want to you telling me that Jordy Hernandez is a defensive minded coach. Well, let's go get an anchor. Well, let's go get somebody that can man the paint. Let's go get a big body.
Hold
How
on.
do
He's
we
a
do?
defensive minded head coach. All right. Wasn't
Yes,
Jock Vaughn supposed to be? Look,
supposed to be that. Yeah,
what did?
another ball head dude. Yeah,
I mean,
this is disgusting.
this is a clown show. You had Mike Budenholzer out there. You know what I'm saying? Somebody with respect, with a pedigree, that could have came in here and at least stabilized this team
That wasn't
and
going to
got
happen.
something in order.
Budenholzer came in here with demands. His first demand was he wanted 10 years. I don't even know what the money was, but he wanted 10 years. Now, listen, if somebody asking you for 10 years for a team that's clearly in the dump, that means they want to rob you. That means they looking for a
Mhm.
robbery. So
Yeah.
listen. We already had Ben Simmons robbed us, bro, because Sean
Who
Marks
said he was
decided to
asking for 10 years?
somebody listen sources allegedly asking for 10 years. I
Mm.
don't even know what the money was, but allegedly asking for 10 years. We already got a robber, a thief on our team by the name of BS. His initials
Shit,
is
go
B
get
and
Sam
S.
Cassell. Like, get somebody with man. I'm tired of these bro.
I'm
Like,
tired. I'm tired of these yes men at head coach. I ain't gonna lie to you.
golly.
Listen, Kevin Ali. I thought he did a phenomenal job with the young core of players. Dennis Schroeder was a point guard that
Mm.
Dennis Schroeder was a point guard that wasn't afraid to go off the book and work with players and work with guys. He has a short on YouTube right now. He says one of the things that he wants to do in this off season is want to gain more camaraderie and gain more camaraderie and more togetherness with a lot of the guys
With
that's on the
who?
roster. A lot of the guys
Who's
that's
gonna
on
be
the
on the
roster.
roster? Cam Thomas and Mikael
Bas-
Bridges.
basically
Basically,
Cam
that's it.
Thomas, Mikael Bridges, CJ DFS, Noah Clowney, Wilson, Trendon Watford.
Yeah, a lot of young players,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, it's a
Well,
lot. It's a lot of young players that's looking to make a name for themselves. But
yeah,
listen, the first thing you do to become a competent defensive coach, you got to get somebody to anchor your defense. You have to get somebody that's going to man the paint, rebound, block shots, be a presence, be that scare factor, man, for teams that's to be like, yo, you see him up in there, we don't go in there when he up in
I
there.
understand when the defensive, but who's scoring the basketball for this team?
I mean, it's obviously been Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas,
That's it. I
I'm
mean,
not
that's
gonna
it's
lie,
clearly it.
Cam Thomas has been trying his hardest to turn water into wine.
Yeah, that's it, man.
He has been given hand grenades. He has been given launch grenades, bro. Like, listen, Dennis Struder, he can
It's
give you
crazy, man.
Dennis
A
Struder, like he's actually
23-year-old
been pretty
kid,
good.
man. That's it. That's it, man. That's all you got, man.
That's all we got.
Mikael
Listen,
Bridges is not I don't want to hear this Mikael team. Man.
no.
That's just not his squad, bro.
Yes, it's not. But listen, and I'm gonna say this one last thing before we move on. Listen, the day that Mikel, Cam Johnson, and Dorian Finney-Smith go back to the roles that they were on a previous team, on this team, then this team is going to be moving on the up and up. We're finally going to win something north of 40 games, and we're finally going to be a playoff team again. Once they go back to those roles, but until then, we got a shit show. That's what we have.
Yeah, man, I agree with you, man. But enough of that sad shit show that is the the Brooklyn Nets, man. Shout out
Absolutely
to a couple
embarrassing.
people in the chat, man. Man K, what's good with you? What's good with you next shift, man? The Lakers apparently
up by 4 now, 104, 100.
now. Okay,
Yeah, after being up by 14 earlier. Zion Williamson got a 40 bird. Zion got 40 points on them.
Russell just hit a 3.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, looks like the Lakers might be moving on. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that game. Quick baseball update. The Mets won their game 3-1 against the Pirates.
Okay.
The Mets improved to 9-8. So the New York Mets getting back on track. The Yankees right now, top 9. They're down 5-3 to the Blue Jays. I don't know what it is about the Blue Jays, but that team always gives the Yankees problems.
Go ahead, Randy.
Always.
Go ahead, bro. I love you. I hope you're feeling better, Randy. Go ahead. Give it. Go ahead, talk your trash, man. You're a Blue Jays fan, so
yeah. We get it, man. We get it, man. But Blue Jays just don't ever win nothing, but they always give the pain in the ass to the Yankees. All right, man. So what else we got here tonight? All right, we can get into some draft talk if you want to, or we can go and check
How
out
about them Packers.
So
hey, listen.
Let's get into some draft talk.
But before we do that, quiet as kept. I will tell people, like, listen, what we have done with the youngest team in the NFL is nothing short of remarkable. And whoever is making the picks this year, I think that we're going into the direction of a fast defense, much more athletes on all sides of the defense, or the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, I think we're accustomed to running the ball, and we're going to continue to be accustomed to running the ball, but we have to replace certain things. I think we did good in the free agency market as well, but I think this draft is gonna it's gonna be one to remember, man, for a lot of teams, but including us.
Yeah, y'all take care of our boy Xavier McKinney over there, man. Good dude, man.
Oh yeah. Appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah.
McKinney,
Let it be known that all Giants
solid
fans, man, I appreciate all the rivalries.
Oh no, it's not a robbery at all, because we did get one of your players too.
Yeah, I did.
John Runyon Jr.
Yeah. We did. Yeah, I did. But it's not really gonna do y'all no good. I mean, but it's still.
Oh yeah, well, it's gonna do us a lot of good.
Maybe
better than Feliciano and Glowinski was doing.
I mean, well, yeah, you can say that, but I mean, it's still. I think when it
Better
comes to the
than
Giant,
Ben
what it's
Madison was doing, better than fucking Patrick Omame was doing, better than the
Oh
dude get
God,
Mm-hmm.
not on my man.
like and
Mambe.
has been
Oh my
trash for
goodness.
over a decade, bro.
Oh my goodness. Listen, I put it to you this way. Listen, I think
It's been bad.
the cornerstone to start with is offensive line, defensive line, that type of setup,
Obviously,
man, and
yeah,
then try to work your way towards a supreme talent at the star positions, quarterback, running back. Try to work
yeah.
from there. But I mean, or obviously we definitely gonna have to get that line. I think the one of the things that the Packers have done for many years, they have secured the O line. So
They
yeah,
have. I ain't
yeah.
gonna
So
front. The O
so
line
so
is usually solid.
yes, usually a solid O line. So like you got a solid O line, you got a recipe for winning.
That's what the Giants are trying to get to, man. So
Oh, wait a
speak.
minute. They tied it?
What?
Oh, no, no, no. It's 5-4. It's 5-4.
105, 104.
No, 5-4. I just got to know Yankees. I'm talking about the Yankees.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
Nah,
the Western
yeah,
Conference.
nah. They're still they're still down. It's a run on third, top nine, top nine.
I haven't watched baseball in quite some time. I got to play catch up.
I've been watching some baseball lately. I ain't
Mm-hmm.
gonna front. Yankees got me
I
excited.
might need to
Pause.
start watching baseball, but hey, did y'all happen to catch the very revolutionary WNBA draft last night? So
Yeah, I did it. I did this. I
Coach,
did
yeah,
this.
he did the stream. Go ahead.
oh yeah, all right, well
Mm,
shout out so the numbers for that draft last year, the draft
Two
last year
point.
did maybe over 500,000. This
The
draft
biggest, yeah, that's going to be in coach's corner. I got the numbers, all of that in there. But go ahead, no, go ahead. You taking it? I'm going to take it out. So go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, absolutely. I think the WNBA is on the right track. In terms of the marketing venue of it. The venue for Pacers for excuse me, Indiana Fever games has now gone from like 15,000 in a building to like 20,000. And 36 of the Indiana Fever games will be televised.
Mm-hmm.
36 of the 40 Indiana Fever games will be televised. Um, Listen, I think the WNBA is they trying to cash out as much as they can on this, man. Like I don't think they can afford to fumble this. Like
They bailed him out with a foul.
this is one of the most star-studded drafts
Drafts, yes, it is.
to think of. Like when listen, outside of Caitlin Clark, you have three some listen, I'm gonna be a little bit wavy here, man, because this channel ain't monetized, but like you got some ice cream flavors. You got Cameron Brink, man,
Mm,
Carmella,
mm,
Cardosa, and Angel Reese. It's a
mm,
take your pick,
mm.
like right then and
Take
there,
my
man.
pick. I'll take them all. I'll take them all. What the hell are you talking about, bro?
He said,
Take them
I'm
all.
taking them all.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, listen. Look, I'm listen. I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be a lot of good ice cream this summer, man. When WNBA basketball comes around, I will say that. But the Chicago Sky, they
Mm-hmm.
won that draft. They won that draft for
Mm-hmm.
listen, Cardoza and Angel Reese both in the same front court.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus
man.
Christ. But
Mm-hmm.
like I don't like at some point I think the WNBA is gonna have to do big dividends with continuing the Angel Reese and the Caitlin Clark story because there's definitely a rivalry there, man. And I think
Hmm.
the rivalry with her and like most of the girls, but the crazy thing about this draft is that Brink, uh, Cardoza, and Reese all have national championships, and Caitlin Clark
Mm-hmm.
does not have one. So
Yeah.
so 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 the reality is that Caitlin Clark is gonna somewhat be on a revenge tour in the WNBA because obviously uh, uh we all heard Diana Taurasi the night that they was playing UConn, man. Diana Taurasi has some choice words to say about the her and the rookies in this draft, the upcoming rookies in this draft, man. It's going to be a grace period and things of that nature, man. You look good when you dominate 18-year-olds and things of that nature.
Wow.
So yeah, it's going to be some hell to pay.
Well,
It
that
is
that
going to be.
that's that's always been Diana Taurasi though. It's not just this class. She's always like that when rookies are coming in. It's just that because of the notoriety and most people don't follow the W, that they don't understand. That's Diana Taurasi. That's how she's always been her whole for the most part of her career. She tells rookies like that's the fact. You coming in here, you playing with grown ass women, women who they gotta feed and handle their household. This ain't no 18-year-old. So it's the truth. It really
It
is
is
the
true.
truth. So and these young women coming in, they gotta earn their keep. So and certain ones mentally, I think will be able to adapt. Case in point, Angel Reese, Cardosa. I mean, Coach. Damn, why am I forgetting Coach's
For
name
the
already?
Chicago Sky.
No, not T. I mean, that's another added too. But I'm saying from South Carolina,
Don Staley.
Dawn Staley. Thank you. She does a good job of preparing her players to go into the NBA, WNBA, and what it
Absolutely.
is. So and that's the thing. So and Angel Reese, playing under Moki, she also gets those girls ready to get into the W. And of course, Gino Oriema gets any UConn
Absolutely.
player.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
yes, that
Can't
but
believe he's still around, man. That
I
golly,
mean, listen. I
Lord
tell
have
you, man.
mercy. That
Listen,
dude's
listen. The lifespan of a college head coach, man,
is
like
ridiculous. Like
is
60
absolute.
years.
Listen, I think. Listen, Dean Smith did numbers.
hmm
Coach
Yep,
K
Coach
did
K.
numbers.
Yeah.
Izzo,
Roy
Calhoun,
Williams.
Boham, Roy Williams, like they did some numbers because the thing about listen, the legendary. How could I forget about the legendary Bobby Knight? Rest in peace
Hmm.
to him, man. But listen, they did numbers for many years. In the NCAA, they listen when it comes to the NCAA, man. They honor tradition and they honor it first with these head coaches. So
Hmm.
somebody has said Kentucky the Kentucky men's team need to at least give Don Staley a call. I'm okay with them giving Don Staley a call, but if I'm Don Staley, I'm saying hell no because the thing is these young women from the age of 18, 19, 20, 21, they need her a whole lot more than a lot of those boys over there need them because let's face it, the men's side of the college game, man, is still all right. Let's even though the NILs is going to hit, let's hurry up and go to the NBA. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So the reality is that the WNBA side of it is listen. A lot of women are going to try to get as much as they can out of these NILs,
hmm
man. The
hmm
biggest
hmm
and the furthest amount of NILs is at LSU, but it's not on the women's basketball team. It's on the gymnastics team. It's a
Hmm.
young lady by the name of by the name of Olivia Dune. Listen, pretty blonde white girl. She she all right. And she ain't she I hear she's not really a top gymnast, but hot. She eye candy enough, man. So like I mean, the NILs is gonna hit so regardless. So I mean, it is what it is. You know what
Leaf,
I'm
you're
saying?
right,
So
man. I mean, because you think about that. You're talking about gymnastics. Then you're going to get to track and field. Track and field is going to pull it.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Softball is starting to get
Softball.
around
Oh yeah.
into it. So yes, and that's where these women are going to have to capitalize as opposed to the men. Because yes, you're right. The high end men are going to be able to jump into the NFL and make millions right off the door. The guys on the back end, where the basketball, football, yeah, they'll stay a little bit longer before they go into their work career. But yes, you're right. In terms of the pay rate, that's part of what I was going to go into in Coach's Corner. These women, they're not making, they're making in terms of everyday life, they're making good money, or they're
Yes.
making a decent living. Let me put it like that. But they're not in comparison to what the men make. No, in terms of the in pro sports, and the biggest issue is, what? Look, these owners, you know, you're making money hand over foot, and now you're going to have this group come in, which is going to elevate everything. Because part of what I was going to get into, I mean, Caitlin Clark in 1 hour on Fanatics, her jersey sold out. Think about that,
Absolutely.
and she gets none of that. She gets no dividends, no residuals, nothing off of that. And and that's the sad part. But in the NBA, you're going to get your money. You're going to get a piece of that pie, and
Well,
that's the.
well, well. And I would say this, and I said this to a lot of different people, and I'm saying it again. The WNBA is a couple months. It's basically it's basically summer school. You know what I'm saying? Because it's basically the summer. It's a couple of months. I don't know what's the total of games is 40. That's basically half of
Mm-hmm.
an NBA season, and it's a couple of months out of the year, and then the rest of the year you got to maybe go overseas, and
But
some
there's a
girls
catch with
they do.
that. There's a catch with that, Leaf, because the W last year put in a contingency. The girls internationally, for them to be eligible for the full year, they have to be back by the start of training camp. It's like the first or second week. You
Right,
have
right,
to,
right, right.
otherwise you're locked out. So you either have to go overseas and make your money, or you have to be here, and that's where I'm saying the W needs to up its game. You want to, I get it. You want the girls to be here. You want them to rep the league and everything, and I get it. That's smart business. But now you're going to have to step it up financially, because if Stewie can go over to wherever, she can go over to Turkey and make $2 million, but she can only make $280 million for 1 year here in the States. Come on, to me, it's a no brainer. Why then? You know what, Stewie? I love you. I appreciate you. And the WNBA is putting a block on you. Now Stewie has her money. She does. But as a Liberty fan, Maureen Johannes, she's staying overseas for two reasons: because she's going to make her money over in France, and she's also preparing for the Olympics. So it's a double edge for her. And Hans Yu is doing the same thing, because they're on the back end in terms of salary with the Liberty. They're not making $200,000. They're making 72. Marie is making. I think she's making 110, or was. I'm sorry. I think she was making 110. So, and that's an international player. So for the W to do that, yes, you're right. It's 40 games and then the playoffs. I get it. But if you're putting a block on them, then you need to up the ante in terms of the pay raise. And now you're talking about, by what is it, by 2027, you want to go up to 18 teams? So you're telling me right now there's money that's coming in here. These women, now their player union, y'all need to get in there and you need to fight for that money. Y'all
So
need to
Caitlin
fight for
Clark
that
is
money.
making 87,000 a season.
Yeah, I mean, no,
That's
it's
her
no, no, no,
salary.
no. Here it is. I'll get it. I have the
I think it was like
exact figures.
76. I
No,
think it
it's
was like
broken down. It's 4 years, $338,056. 2024, she makes 76,535. 2025, $78,066. 26 is 873. 2027, which is an option year, is $97,582. That's what, and she's the number one overall draft pick. So
I just did some math on my own because I started playing numbers again. But so in New York, if you win the cash for life,
Mhm.
as a single, like that's $220,000 a year.
Mhm.
That's more than WNBA girl. Like, oh, come on,
Yes.
bro. Like we are,
Bro,
listen,
I know dudes making 100,000
a
that
hundred
that
Exactly.
that
thousand, bro.
drive
Like,
trucks,
ain't
bro.
listen. I look. It's city jobs that make more than these
Right.
girls, man. Like, I'm
Exactly.
not gonna lie to you. So, but listen. But with all of
Jeez.
that being said, I think the WNBA. This is a good start with this
Mhm.
draft. This is a good
Mhm.
start.
Mhm.
To pushing this league to heights it has never seen with Caitlin Clark in this draft class. But I think they need to continue to cash in on the Caitlin Clark Angel Reese story
Mhm.
in terms of making it more basketball relatable and more relatable in terms of fan base and drawing the different types of fan base into the game. Because the thing is, like, let's be honest, man. Like, when Bird and Magic came along, they took what they did in 1979 in the NCAA title game and took it to the 1984 NBA finals and did numbers and then lifted it and continued it to lift it to the heights, and then Jordan then took it off. They was getting
What's good,
53%.
Alex? What's good with you, bro?
Isaiah Thomas himself said that
Trudeau. What's good?
back
What's
then
good,
back
bro?
Isaiah Thomas said back then they was getting 53% of the gross back
Mm-hmm.
then. But
Mm-hmm.
back when Jordan after Jordan had won them titles, and because remember he was a part of the players, he was head of the players union
Mm-hmm.
back during that time. So the reality is that I feel like this the Caitlin Clark is basically the Larry Bird. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese basically is the Larry Bird, Magic Johnson,
Same
catapult.
thing.
It's the catapult that the WNBA needs to get to that upper echelon in terms of figures and income.
Yeah.
I think this is a good start. So it's gonna
Yes.
be interesting to see how this plays out, man. It will be. It's gonna be very
As he
interesting, and
goes,
yeah.
Cool, man.
let me
Alex.
take part of my
Um,
coach's corner out.
yeah, that's cool. Alex. Just let me know. I'll drop the link. Um,
Okay,
Ghost
let's
Dog,
take
what's
this
good
out.
with you, Ghost? What's good, man? Appreciate everybody for coming through. Y'all hit that like button, man. Share the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed to Coach Ed's Amazing World of Sports, G Nation Inside Sports, man, and Leaf Diggy in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. But let's get into this NFL talk here a little bit. Still keeping my eye
I
on
still
the
got to do my draft board, man, because
playoffs.
I've been slacking, man. Like the NBA been getting in the way of everything, man. Because everybody know I'm obviously a
Yeah,
basketball
man.
fan, of course, but I've been slacking. I got to get up on my
I would
NFL
have
board.
liked to been more locked in with the Brooklyn Nets this season, but it just wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth my stress level. Because I hate watching bad basketball, yo. I don't like it, yo. You know what I'm
I mean, listen,
saying?
I hate it too, but the thing is, I find myself being a basketball fan first and a Nets
Yeah,
fan
man.
second because, listen, bad basketball from the Nets and good basketball against whoever we playing is actually. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm guess I'm
Right.
calling this.
But so looking at this draft, man, I know we talked a lot about the Giants, the Giants draft, the Jets draft, yada yada yada, man. But I wanna know what is a hidden gem, so to speak, man, in this draft, man. Somebody you might be able to get in the later rounds. Somebody not a lot of people talking about, because so much focus is on the top of the draft, but NFL drafts ain't made in the first round. You know what I'm saying?
They really not.
The best drafts, you come through with good players between, rounds 3 and 7. Those are like the premium top rounds to get depth on your team, something that the Giants need, and also to get those gems, those hidden gems, that can come in and contribute right away on rookie contracts. Coach, I'm gonna throw
Okay.
this one over to you, man, because I know
Mm-hmm.
you got the most of this knowledge, man, when it comes to these prospects. Give us a couple hidden gems that could possibly be had in the later
Well,
rounds.
some of them you already have heard me talk about. If we're talking about, let's start with the running back position because it's always devalued.
Of
Um,
course.
but I mean, you know that we talk about these guys, being Giants fan, and Braylon Allen and Audric Estimate.
Mm-hmm.
They're big body running backs. They can run up inside. Audric Estimate, still has the ability that he can, if he cracks the seam, he can still pick up yards. Probably depending on the angle, take it to the house. You got Bucky Irvin from Oregon. Quick back. 5'9", 5'10", about 200 pounds, but he has good speed. Marshawn Lloyd from USC. If you're looking for a running back, those are some good players that you can get at good value later in the draft. this is a heavy wide receiver draft, heavy wide
Mm-hmm.
receiver
Oh
draft.
yeah.
So, I mean, Keon Coleman right now is being talked. Early was talked about as a first rounder. Now, they're talking about into the second round. Shout out,
Wow.
yeah. There's some projections that have him, so he can go anywhere in the first into the second, mid second rounder. So
Have a good night too, though.
you'll have shout out to coach with East Coast. He loves Jermaine Burton, from Alabama. He's a sneaky good receiver. NYG, about Walker from North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Polk is another one. From
Yeah.
Washington. Even Brendan Rice, McCaffrey. These are guys who you can get in later in the draft to come in and 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 help your roster, also to help you on special teams. And that's an important thing. Tight end. What's his name? Johnson from Penn State. Yeah, you have the tight end from what's his name? Stinnett from Kansas State. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if you're looking, if you need a tight end. So I mean, again, I'm just randomly trying to think off the top of my head while I'm trying to pull up my listing here. Offensive line, y'all, me. I love what's his name from South Dakota State, Mason McCormick. I love
McCormick.
him.
Yeah.
Mahogany from Boston College.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name from UConn. As far as an offensive guard. I mean,
Christian Haynes.
yeah, Christian Haynes. So
Christian Haynes.
I mean, all the way down to, yes, I'm a homer, to my boy Max Milton. I mean,
Mhm.
there's different
I don't think
ranges.
people sleeping on Max Milton no more.
I've
I'm gonna be
seen
honest with
still,
you.
I've even been debating some people. They're like, oh no, he's a third rounder, blah
Nah.
blah. And I'm like, what are you talking about? But still, okay. I mean, whatever. We all have our, point. The edge rusher from Colorado State, Kamara. Again,
Yeah, yeah. Ghost puts it in there. Kamara, Cedric Benson,
oh yeah,
Jordan Travis.
Cedric Benson. He said Cedric Benson. Frank Gore Jr. Um,
Yeah.
Wait, Benson is a running back, right? I thought he was a
Yeah.
second rounder. Project? Oh no,
Uh,
no, no. It's the other one from Texas. I'm sorry, I'm mixing
yeah.
them up. Sorry, but still, there's still good value. And this draft, the reason why you have this is because of what's known as the super senior. Because of the COVID year. You have guys
Uh,
who've been in school 5 years, 6 years.
hmm
You know, I mean, it helps expand. It gives you a plethora of talent, and these older guys coming in. I know some people say they want to go younger because you can capitalize and develop, and all this and that. But some of these older guys, you don't need to develop them as much as some of the younger guys. So they're going to be fast tracked to coming in and helping you, as opposed to a guy who's 20, 21 years old. He may need a year or two to really just get his
hmm
feet wet, where a guy who's 24 years old, he just might need a year just to get used to the speed of the game. He understands the game of football. So,
hmm
and that's the benefit of this draft, man. There's so much talent. NYG, we've gone through and we've looked at so many different guys, and it's
Yeah.
like, and it's a plethora of talent. And what's even going to be even better is once the draft is over, some UDFAs.
UDFAs. I was about to say, yeah.
There's going to
There's
be
gonna
those
be a lot.
UDFAs that are going to be there. That what, in worst case scenario, they're going to be on somebody's practice squad.
hmm
And they're going to help your team that way while they learn the game and get acclimated before they're brought up to an active roster. So, and
hmm
that's what I appreciate with this draft. And sit here and I look at it and continue to watch the game. What's going on. That, I mean, people have talked about, well, why didn't this guy come out? Well, he sees what's going on with all the talent there. Shador Sanders, he wants to be the number one quarterback. Well, that's why he didn't come out this year. But he
hmm
could have come out this year.
They
You
be
know.
disrespecting Shador, yo.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
know.
what it's crazy, man. These college so-called analysts, you know what I'm saying? Talking about he's what they have him ranked eighth, ninth in the like, come
Next
on,
year
bro.
they
That
have
dude's gonna
him
be the
written
number one draft pick next year. We all know it. Like, stop it.
exactly. So, but you know what? Let him hate. I say this. Let him hate. No, don't stop it. Keep giving it to me because that just puts a chip on my shoulder if I'm a player. You know what? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead. You want to talk trash about me? You want? All right, I'm gonna show you. You know, Shador for everything that he did last year with no offensive
No
line.
line, right.
Think about that. I mean, yeah,
It's
he
like, you know what it's like, coach? It's like the quarterbacks when they don't have a line, it's like they get blamed. And then the quarterbacks that do have a line, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden they're these god quarterbacks. And it's like, bro, are we watching the same game? Because a lot of what people saying about Daniel Jones and the Giants is what Shador Sanders went through in college. No offensive line, limited weapons, and he still produced. But
mm-hmm,
yet he's the eighth rated quarterback in the league. Daniel Jones,
mm-hmm,
limited line, limited weapons, took a team to the playoffs. Got him a playoff win. He's considered the worst quarterback in the NFL.
mm-hmm,
It's like when you do well without the line, it's like you get punished for it.
See,
mm-hmm,
we're watching the same game. The problem is the perception.
Yeah.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And
It's the perception of whoever's watching.
it's
And
also every.
people
Go ahead,
don't
go. I'm
tend
sorry,
to be as intelligent as they think they are.
but it's also um, certain people have a narrative, and they want to
Mhm.
skew it towards their narrative. And like you said, Lou, some people don't know how to. They don't know how to think for themselves, like you just said, and they fall for the bait. And you're fish on a hook, and you're getting reeled in, as opposed to, you know what, I ain't stupid enough to bite for that. So.
Well, when you're listening to other people's opinion to form your view rather than looking stuff up for yourself to be informed, then yeah, you're gonna follow whatever the narrative is
Mm-hmm.
rather than find out for yourself and formulate your own idea, which is very telling because it lets you know just exactly how many followers there are and how many leaders there are. You can
Mm-hmm.
tell
Mhm.
based on their arguments, the majority of the people are followers.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you have your own brain and you think outside the box or you say something that doesn't fit the narrative that's being pushed, then you get labeled, right? But that's okay. Label me whatever you want, but you can't lock me into any of your boxes because I don't fit, because I'm too smart, because I follow my own thought process and not what the crowd is doing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, go ahead and say what you say. But in the end, when I end up being right and you end up with pie on your face, you know,
Big facts, man. Ghost says some people saying we should move up to number 4 and pick JJ McCarthy. Um, what are your thoughts on that, Lou?
who me?
Put moving up to number 4 and taking JJ McCarthy from Michigan for the New York Giants.
I'm gonna say this as simple as I can say it, so even the people who are uh not that bright can get it. That's what I say to that. I say grab Malik Neighbors or Odunze at 6, and if by some miracle Marvin Harrison is there, grab him at 6. That's what you do. Because contractually, DJ is still going to be here this year. And God forbid he gets hurt, guess what? You got Drew Lock. So they're not about to spend a first round pick and guaranteed money on JJ McCarthy when he's ranked like 10. Why would you
Mhm.
move up to 4 to get a guy who's ranked 10?
Yeah, that you could possibly get at 6 anyway. Coach, what's your
Mm-hmm.
thoughts, man, about moving up to number 4 for JJ McCarthy? Just think about the player for a minute. Not even the fact of the trade, because I know you're against trading up. So am I. So is Lou. JJ McCarthy, why is he getting all this hype, man?
Okay. Um, if you're playing the board right, you don't even have to trade up to get him if that's who you really want.
Mm.
I mean, honestly, if you're worrying about Minnesota trading up over you, okay, more than likely, if they're going to move up, it'll probably be at 3 anyway. So, unless you're going to trade up to 3. But if you're talking about 4, eh, I mean, number one, let me preface this by say this: Joe Shane, Dable. If that's who you really love, and you're worrying about somebody trading, then do what you got to do to get your quarterback. I don't agree with it, but you do what you got to do. Now, if it's me, I'm not trading up for him. I'm not. You see how I am. I'm gonna play the board, and I'm gonna see what happens because we have way too many holes. So if you're moving up 4, you're going to have to give up a draft pick. We only have 6 draft picks as it is. And if you go through this roster and you look literally almost at least every position, you at least need one player there, at least one. So you're talking about anywhere from 9 to 10 players, but we have 6 draft picks. Now, can't do everything in one draft, but if you trade a draft pick this year, that's leaving you with 5. And you're going to move up and then what? You're not going to have possibly the weapons, because that's the other argument. Well, you don't have the weapons, so okay, so you're going to trade up, give away draft picks, not give this young player weapons to at least go out there and see what you really have. And the question is, I mean, with McCarthy, for me, I mean, in comparison to the other quarterbacks, he hasn't been passing and being prolific like all these other. Yes, he has some skill sets. They all have skill. They all have some certain skills. I mean, there's good qualities in all of them, but there's still development that they all need. And if you don't give, especially a kid like J.J. McCarthy, if he doesn't have the talent around him, you're putting too much pressure on this young kid. And what call it do in Michigan? They ran the football. They ran the football. Yes, he's made some plays where he made some passes, but he's also made some bad passes and bad decisions. And don't forget, he's still young. I think he's the youngest quarterback. I think he's 20, 21 years old.
Yeah, 22 or something like 21,
Hold on,
22.
he's been in college for 3 years. So yeah, he's roughly 21 years old. So, yeah, it's going to take him probably a little bit longer than the other one to develop, unless now, if you were in Minnesota, to be honest, is the right situation because of the talent that they have there. They have the 2 running backs. They have booking tackles. They have a tight end. They have a running game. They're trying to build their defense up. That's where you put him, where he can develop. He just has to get the ball to his playmakers, let them do what they need to do. If you have a good defense, kind of develop him like Pittsburgh did with Big Ben back in the day when he first came in the league. That's what you do with a quarterback who has some skill set. But when you draft him and you don't have any talent around him,
It's 21.
hello, Carolina. What did Carolina do to Bryce Young? I'm gonna leave it right there.
Yeah. And I seen your video today, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
There's Luca. What's
So,
good,
Luka.
man?
What's going on, guys?
Welcome to the show, man. Appreciate you coming through.
Thank you. I said I
Yeah.
would try to make it on after the Yankee game, and I did. I just had to do one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But what's
Yeah.
going on, everybody? Hope all is
What's up,
well.
bro? Yeah.
Yeah, man. Definitely appreciate you coming through, man. But one last thing, with the whole quarterback situation with the Giants, a lot of people feel that if they don't take a quarterback, that is kind of a knock. It's kind of setting a clock, so to speak, I guess, on Brian Dable and Joe Shane. How much pressure is it for Brian Dable to win some games this year? Because to me, a lot of that can kind of dictate a little bit which way you go in the draft, because I feel like if they know they have time to sit and develop a quarterback, maybe they go that route. But if the pressure's on them to say, hey, look, we need you to win some games this year, we can't be, 4-win, 5-win team. Yeah, you're taking the wide receiver and you're gonna load up on offense and defense and try to go out there and make the playoffs or whatever. What is your thoughts on what that situation might look like as far as what kind of leeway you think Ryan Day want them have?
Personally speaking, I think they have great leeway, great latitude. I mean, didn't Mara say he's giving them the autonomy to draft a quarterback, basically do whatever they want to do? I mean, now as long as there's not total dysfunction in the organization, I don't think they're going to get fired. I don't. I think what's going to happen is you're going to now. I'm not saying if they get 2 or 3 wins, they're not going to be out the door. That's a different story. But let first and foremost, if they're being competitive, if this team is being competitive in all their games, and you're losing a game here or there at the last minute, that's telling you the organization is headed in the right direction, first and foremost. The guys are competing. They're not getting totally knocked around. I'm talking about a 40-0 type of situation. But, if you lose, 38-35 or a 21-20 type of a game, at least the guys are competing and, you're there and you have, 7 wins. No, they're not going to get fired because you're headed in the right direction. You just have to get more pieces here to build in this situation. So, and that's what it is. Now, if you have issues with your coaching staff again, that's a different story. That's a
Yeah.
totally different story because now it's, you got rid of certain coaches already. You got new coaches in. It should be a little bit fresher. But if you're still having issues, Dable, yes, in the sense he has to, I don't want to say tone it down, but he has to approach it a little bit differently. And I always say the same thing. New head coaches, it takes them time to learn how to coach, not just the players, but the other coaches. I don't care if you're a coordinator. It's different when you're running one side of the team as opposed to the whole organization. It's totally different. And sometimes it can take a coach 2-3 years to really get the hang of, how to properly run and what you want to do and the players and also the other coaches. That's what it boils down to. So
So I'm gonna ask this one question, and then I'm gonna ask you, and then I'm gonna ask Lou, and then we'll because I know Luca's on the show,
mhm.
and Leaf too. I know they're not Giants fans, but
Oh, that's Luca. Damn, I thought that was Alex. What's up, Luca?
What's up, Lou?
what on a scale from 1 to 10, just a real simple answer. I just want to like
Chet.
I'm trying to understand this from both sides. I really am. I'm trying to understand it, from the team building standpoint, and then going ahead and getting the quarterback. What's your confidence level on Daniel Jones? Like, just what is your confidence level if Daniel Jones is going to go out there and be the starting quarterback week 1 of the 2024 NFL season, which it looks like there's a good chance he's going to be. What is your confidence level in Daniel Jones? Lou, go ahead.
Okay, now with the acquisitions that we've made at the offensive line, if they play as good as they look on paper, my confidence in Daniel Jones is up there. Up there. Because in my opinion,
Put a number on it from 1 to 10.
8.
Okay.
Reason being, because we've seen Daniel Jones flash a diverse set of skills with the poorest offensive line in the NFL and the slowest and lowest ranked receiver core in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And he won a playoff game with that. So if the new offensive line group plays as good as they look on paper, my confidence in him is high.
Okay, that's fair.
Also, if we draft any of those 3 top receivers at number 6, then my confidence immediately goes to like 9.5.
Got you. Coach, where you at with it? DJ.
Currently constructed right now. I'd probably say about a 6. In terms of And it comes down to, do we give him at least one, type of receiver that, forces the defense to.
Respect.
Basically, yes.
Mhm.
So and it doesn't have to be a receiver. Heck, it could be Brock Bowers. I'll be honest. You can give me Brock Bowers. In some regards, he's still a respectable type of a weapon that can help
I'm
Daniel
not gonna
Jones.
front, man. I get it. I'm gonna be upset if the
You're
Giants
missing my
draft
point. You're
Brock
missing my point.
Bowers. I
It's
am.
not that. It's not that. It's not the player. When I get what you're saying, you don't want to tight end. I get that. What I'm saying is, in terms of my confidence, right now it's at 6. The way this team is, I think the offensive line is, has the ability to gel. Now if we're, with that, are we going to be more of a running team off of that? And are we going to see more of the team that we saw the first year? I don't think so, but now Shane and Dable want to pass. As currently constructed, we need some receivers to be able to do that. We need
Yeah.
some weapons. And that's what I'm getting at when I say Brock Bowers. He can help. I'm not saying, and I get what you're saying as far as drafting a tight end, you're not going to be happy, but he's still a weapon that can help Daniel Jones.
Mm.
So, and that's why I'm saying that. Now if you give me, Marvin Harrison Jr. or Neighbors or
Okay, now
Rome,
we
then
talking. Yeah.
then then yeah, then it's a different ball game. So, but Bowers is still a weapon that teams defensively have to respect, and that's what it boils down to. So, what's up, Butterfly? Thanks for tuning in. So,
Um,
um,
Bowers can go to the Jets.
no.
Jets. Oh, we got a Jets fan in here. Oh,
Oh, but
damn.
hold on a minute. There's one thing I want to say in reference to that too, and I think Luca might like this, or he might not. I saw, I forgot who it was, but I saw a trade with the Jets that they traded from number 10 to number 4 to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. I just want to say that. So there you go. Go ahead, Luca.
No, I'll be fair. I wouldn't be totally against that. If you're getting a win now type impact player for Rodgers, Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, trading up for them, I wouldn't mind it. As long as you're not giving up too
Leave Neighbors
much.
out of this, Luca.
Trust me, I know the Giants fans who don't want to take a quarterback want to take Malik
Hold,
Neighbors.
hold on,
That's
wait,
fair.
wait, wait.
That's fair.
I had to interrupt. Is a Jets fan in here?
Mhm.
Luca, man.
Oh,
Luca.
this
Big
shit
Lou
is
from the
getting real
Bronx,
bad.
man.
I ain't gonna lie. Listen, this is one of the reasons why
Is he
I only
pulling for
support
New
one
York?
I see why I only support one New York team, bro. Like,
At least he's pulling for New York. It's them damn New Yorkers that cheer for the Dallas Cowboys that I can't stand.
Right.
listen. Like, to be honest with you. I wish I was pulling for New York. That's the crazy thing about it. But I like knowing what I know about the Jets and the Giants. Respectfully, I had to make my way to somebody else, bro. Like, I had to make my way clean out of the states. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this.
Who's your
Especially
squad?
not with the Jets.
The
Packers.
Packers.
He's a
Who?
Packers fan.
He's a
Packers.
Packers
Get
fan.
this man off the screen.
He said, "Get this man off the screen."
Oh, man.
I tell you what. We graduated two Hall of Fame quarterbacks. We about to graduate. Look like we about to graduate a third. So
Hey, but two of them Hall of Fame quarterbacks lost to the Giants in the NFC Championship.
There you go.
that is a fact. That
There
is a
you
fact.
go.
That is a fact. I mean, even a broken clock
Mhm.
is right at least 2 times a day. I mean,
And I'll take it one further. The Packers would have never been a recognized national team had it not been for a New York coach by the name of Vince Lombardi.
Mm.
That
Mm.
that that's
Mhm.
also a fact. That's also a fact. I mean, a shout out
Yeah,
to shout out
yeah.
to the late great Vince Lombardi. That trophy is named after him. We got quite many of them. We working on some more. Um,
All
the
It's
right,
been a long
Giants.
Green Bay.
time. It's been a
All
long
right.
time though.
All right, Green Bay.
I
Let's
ain't been
get
that
to,
long. About
let's
2011.
let's get to these Jets, man. Talk to me about what these Jets might do here at number 10, Luca, man. Because to me, I mean, I think you should go receiver. I know a lot of
Okay.
Jets fans saying possibly trade back or take Bowers or take a lineman. I'm saying receiver for you guys because as I look at it, you really only got Garrett Wilson. I mean, Mike Williams. Do you really trust him?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
True.
Mm-hmm.
you know,
And they
you
get
kind
Christian
of
Watson.
iffy there. What you say, Lou?
Didn't they draft Watson?
No, that's Green Bay.
That's Green
Nah,
Bay, not the Jets.
we're
Oh,
talking Jets now. Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, I think you should go receiver, man. But what's your thoughts, Luca? What's your thoughts on what direction the Jets should go in?
Whether it is wide receiver, offensive line, or Brock Bowers, I will be happy. As long as it is offensive side of the ball, I'll be happy. And I'll give a reason for anything. When it comes to wide receiver, I'll give you a reason for wide receiver, reason for offensive line, reason for tight end. So, wide receiver, you bring it up. Good point. Just need a wide receiver. They have Garrett Wilson. Obviously, he's a stud. It's amazing how a guy who's played with so many shitty quarterbacks, to be fair, can get 1,000 yards into 1,000 yards per season. Amazing. He's talented. He can't be the only guy, the only reliable guy.
Right.
Mike Williams, he's coming off injury. I like Mike Williams' skill set to go deep. I like his height. I like his size as a red zone target. But again, coming off a torn ACL, how much you going to rely on him?
Pause.
But Williams, okay, he's coming off injury. You can't rely on him immediately. It's going to be a process. Alan Lazard was garbage. I know another one of Aaron Rodgers' buddies, absolutely garbage last year. Will he be better with Rodgers? There's a possibility, but he still sucked. I mean, you're talking about a guy who would be in practice kicking around the soccer ball. So I don't really take him seriously as a wide receiver. So you could make a very strong argument for an impact now wide receiver. You could either say third round, or you could say right at the first selection. Whether you grab a guy, whether you trade up for Marvin Harrison or Malik Neighbors, or you stay right there and select Roma Dunze. Now, in my opinion, I think the Jets need a versatile wide receiver because you want to cause more mismatches with Garrett Wilson with more time in the slot. Wilson can be he can be out on the outside. He can be in the slot for more mismatches. So you need a guy, again, Mike Williams is only outside exclusive. You need a guy who can play inside and out. Adunze has mostly played on the outside. And there's some questions as related to his contested catch ability as well. So Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, they've both played inside and out. So those are like almost ideal perfect fits. So that's what I'm thinking there. I don't know about Keon Coleman, where he's at, but I think he's more of the taller receiver. I think his skill set would be redundant. So that's my argument for wide receiver. Argument for offensive line, you have two guys on the final years of their contracts. You signed Tyron Smith for a one-year deal. I thought it was a bargain. Now, is he going to play the whole season? Probably not. You're probably expecting him to play 11 to 13 games. So you need that insurance policy. You also probably need that insurance policy for years beyond. Same thing with Morgan Moses. He tore his pectoral last week in week 4. He played through it the entire season, so you don't know where he's going to be. He's a very good right tackle, run blocking wise as well. So that's my argument for offensive line. For tight end, you could absolutely improve upon Tyler Conklin. And Brock Bowers, to be fair, could be your wide receiver 3 or even wide receiver 2 next to Garrett Wilson. He could be in the slot. He could be in line. So his versatility lining up can do well and create mismatches for everybody else. But there's obviously questions in regards to separation, whether it was schemed up or not, identifying coverages, all that, yards after the catch. But I've just made a case that you could draft any of them, and I will be happy.
Okay, Luca.
Now that's the first round. As far as this like the next couple rounds, second to third round, what do you think? Some of the positions that the Giants the Jets could address here. I'm talking about like in the later rounds.
Well, you definitely listen. I think it all starts. I think 10 is the kind of.
You gotta love Rhea Ripley's outfits. Jesus Christ. Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think 10 is essentially the launch pad for what you're going to do in the future rounds because, it depends. If you draft wide receiver at 10, are you going to draft a backup offensive lineman like a Roger Rosengarten at the third round because the Jets don't have a second round pick? Are you going to trade back and draft Brian Thomas?
How many picks they got total, the Jets?
What Jets draft picks 2024. Okay. So Let's see. So I'm trying to find it out. It's not many, to be honest. So their full list by round. Let's see. Just going to mute this real quick. Okay. So they have round 1, 10th overall, round 3, 2 round 4 picks, a round 6, and 2 round 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 picks.
7 picks. Man, they got more than the Giants. Giants only got six.
I mean, truthfully, yes, but if you think of again, I think as I said, 10 will be the launch pad for wherever you go. They could trade back, get that extra second round pick. Then you can make a case. Hey, you don't have to go often. You don't have to, mandate a position at 10 or wherever you trade back to 15 or 18. You could select a Brian Thomas at 18, get a second round lineman in the second round. Grab Troy Fatanu on a trade back. Grab a wide receiver in the second round, like a Brendan Rice, who I was very happy with at the Senior Bowl. Same thing with a guy like Roman Wilson, who could probably, go to the second round. All of that. So I think the Jets will probably, this is a popular take out there, I think the Jets are going to draft a quarterback in like the fourth round. We use one of their fourth round picks.
I was just about to ask you that. Yeah.
If I had one or two guys I would draft, I would say Jordan Travis. Now, I like his skill set, but not only that, Travis is also coming off an injury. You can place him in IR, so you really don't have to use. So it's not like he's taking up an active roster spot.
Yeah,
that's what you like about that. I think Travis would have probably been a first round, second round quarterback if it wasn't for injury. So again, having the time to sit properly and learn under Tyrod and Aaron Rodgers, I think that's going to help him out a ton. And another guy, Spencer Rattler, I think you can take him in round 4 as well. Yeah. Very proud of what he did at the Senior Bowl. I think he has that kind of, he's like that boomer bust kind of mentality for a round 4 pick. Obviously, most plays are, some half plays are boom, half plays are bust. Got to look more into it. But quarterback, offensive line depth, if you're talking in the later rounds, I could say maybe one defensive lineman and maybe an extra tight end if they don't go Bowers. Again, there's also a safety need. You just need one safety. But there's not a ton of needs. But again, if you dress it properly, you do a trade back, you just grab depth at the end, no problem.
Cool, man. Cool. What's good, Jose, man? I'm sorry to hear that, man. Hope you rest up, man, and get well, man. Brother said he tore his ACL. That sucks, man. Sorry to hear that, man.
Brother, I'm sorry to hear that, Honey Badger.
But so give me a gem in this draft, man. I know you guys are at the Senior Bowl, man. Shout out to you and Alex, man. If you're not subbed up to Big Blue in the Bronx, man, please go do so right now.
Better subscribe to everybody from the Bronx. We don't play that shit.
Shout out to the BX. But yeah, give me a gem in this draft, man. Somebody in the later rounds, man, that you've been taking a look at, man, that could possibly be a steal in this draft.
Ooh, okay. Let's see. I mean, if I had to give one, I'm trying to look at like skill positions. Obviously, that would be kind of my focus. I know Luke McCaffrey looked quite good at the Senior Bowl, and I think he might be a gem. He's probably going to be like in the 5th, 6th round. I would consider Luke McCaffrey to be that gem.
Okay, that's a good answer. Lou.
Jared Wadley, I think his name is, tight end.
Okay. Jared Wiley. Okay. Cool, man. Good, man. Me and Coach gave a bunch earlier, man. I just want to get your take on that. Luca.
A guy that can drop to us in the later rounds that would be impact player year 1 at the tight end position, especially with Darren Waller being gone. Him and Bellinger would have to.
Is he gone? Why are people saying he's gone? I mean, I haven't heard anything from this
man. Looking high as hell on social media, bro. He relapsed. It's a wrap. Only crackhead that was ever worked for them was Lawrence Taylor. You're not gonna get another miracle like that.
Another guy I would consider for you guys is somebody who I actually personally interviewed at the Senior Bowl, Ben Sinnott, out of I think it was Kansas State. Yep. I would consider him for you guys. I think he's like almost like a Jeremy Rucker type of what we got. Like he's versatile. He can line up as an H-back. He can line up, in line. He's a good blocker. So I'd consider that for you guys. He's not going to be your premier tight end, but with Bellinger, I think it'd be a nice combo.
Yeah, I would say Leggett too, Perry, but I don't think people sleep on Leggett no more. I think he's moving up draft boards.
Another thing I'll say is I believe that this year Daniel Bellinger takes a huge leap and becomes a very good tight end in the NFL.
I hope so.
If
I hope
schemed right,
so.
he can be like a what was that damn tight end that used to kill us in Dallas? Witten,
Hmm.
Jason Witten. I hated that fucking guy, but he used to kill us over the middle. And I think
Well, we used to have good blocking tight ends. Remember back in the day, the Giants did that could receive as well. You know,
Mm,
guys like Kevin Boss. You know,
Jeremy Shockey,
I
Will
remember Jake
Todd,
Ballard. Yeah,
um,
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 the great
Martellus Bennett.
Mark Bavaro.
Martellus Bennett for a while. Like we had some pretty good
Bavaro.
players at that position. Yeah, Bravaro,
Hold up,
absolutely.
Shockey was a blocking tight end for y'all.
Yeah, he did it both.
Mm-hmm.
He did both, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice, yo.
I mean,
Yeah,
I recall him being a playmaker, man. But I mean,
he did
Doesn't mean,
both.
but he did both.
He
That's what I'm
blocked.
saying.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
he
blocked.
he blocked
he
too.
blocked.
Some of these tight ends these days don't block at all. I mean, at
well,
all.
yeah. I think the tight end position is slightly turned
Yeah,
into
it's
like
different.
all playmaker position. I think
Mhm.
the tight ends that block mostly like I think that's sort of a dying breed. Kind of like the linebackers that tackle. They looking for linebackers that could cover and run like a 4-5 or 4-4 or something like
I
that.
would love to have a Tony Gonzalez in the New York Giants or
Well,
Antonio Gates.
well, I hate to tell you, Lou. Listen, when you find that, hit me up. Then yeah, I might mess around and win a couple of more championships. But until then, that
Oh,
ain't
two
happening.
more coming within the next 3 years. You could take them to the
I
bank.
highly doubt that. But I mean, I'll wait for it
The
though.
reign
I
of
mean,
Kermit the Frog is over, sir.
I wait. I wait for it, man. Listen, I send you a block of cheese, man. Well, listen, if it do or if it don't.
This is Kermit the
the,
Frog here reporting to you live. We're tired of hearing.
the draft is in Green Bay next year, Leaf, man. You should
Mm-hmm.
pull up. We
You know
should throw
what?
that out
Hey, you know what?
there.
I've been to Milwaukee once. Actually, with my brother, we had made a
Mm.
stop. We had made a stop through. We was going all the way to Seattle at one point, and then
Don't drive
yes.
through Arkansas.
Please
Nah,
don't.
nah, 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 nah. He said, "Don't
Please
drop."
don't.
I
You
actually
ain't
been to Arkansas too. I actually spent a couple of days around Arkansas. I got some funny
I hate
people
that
down there.
place.
Arkansas was all right, man. Alabama
No, it
is
wasn't.
probably what I want to drive through, but Arkansas
Arkansas
was all right
is
for me.
I will never step foot in Alabama,
Terrible.
Mississippi, Louisiana. Uh, um,
Louisiana's all right. I can't
man,
knock
listen.
Louisiana.
Never been to
New
Louisiana. I've
York,
been to Arkansas a bunch of times, but I never been to Louisiana.
Arkansas though, or Kansas, as I like to call it. Yeah,
Yeah,
nah.
I've been to
oh,
Arkansas. I've been to Little Rock. Little Rock,
Yeah.
that's a funny place, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Mhm.
Little
It's
Rock is
real
hood.
funny.
Little Rock is hood as fuck.
Yeah, Little Rock
Mhm.
is hood. Yeah, Little Rock is hood. Hey, they got some funny, they got some characters down there. I ain't gonna lie to
And they loaded with Crips over there.
you.
That is Crip
Uh,
Central.
Oh man.
real quick though, man. Let's touch on the baseball real quick, man. Then we're gonna get in the coach's corner. Then we getting out of here. Yankees lose tonight.
Yeah.
You was
Close
watching the
game.
game. I was watching like part of it, kind of like back and forth. We was doing the stream, but what happened out there? I know they tried to make a late rally, but you want to give a quick analysis of what happened out there? The Yankees losing 5-4 to
Quick
the Blue Jays.
quick analysis. The bats weren't there. Yusei Kikuchi has done very well against the Yankees, especially in a Blue Jays uniform. His last loss against the Yankees was actually 2 years ago. But Kikuchi pitched very well. The Yankees were just swinging at garbage the entire night. Volpe struck out 3 times, I believe. Three, if not four. Judge was also struggling as well. Juan Soto had a strikeout as well. So there was no really key factor in the offense. But the real thing that I think really stuck out to me is Carlos Rodon. Rodon did not pitch well tonight.
Yeah.
And you could live with like maybe 3 runs given up, but he did not give you length whatsoever because he was constantly running into trouble. He had to get himself in trouble, and then he got himself out of trouble. So at the end of the day, he was like at 100 pitches around the 4th inning. So there was no way, he was giving
God damn.
bullpen any rest. He wasn't giving the bullpen any rest, unfortunately. So Luke Weaver had to come in. Nick Birdie had to come in. Victor Gonzalez had to come in. and they're putting a really early burden on this bullpen, which doesn't help. The only constant starter, I think, in my opinion, has been Marcus Stroman, and if it's not been Stroman, it's been Clark Schmidt, who have been giving the Yankees innings and at least giving the bullpen some rest. So they lose their first series. Is it something to completely worry about? No, but there are a bit of some concerns.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew the pitching was going to start to be an issue. You know what I'm saying? Because hitting in baseball it's hit or miss, kind of like, it's like 3-point shooting in basketball. You're either hot or you're not. You know what I mean? So pitching is usually what's consistent. Now, if you're missing your best ace pitcher, you're gonna need some guys to step up, like you said, Stroman stepping up, Smith earlier on, but it's not going to be consistent. And if these Yankees bats cool off, which it seems like they have, you're going to face some struggles. I had a feeling this was going to happen. That's why I didn't want to get all too hyped up about the early hot start, man. But you're starting to see now that's what's kind of setting in now. That pitching is not looking like it was in the beginning of the season.
100%. And the bullpen, is a little shaky, in my opinion, with the arms who you could trust. Ian Hamilton, I think you can trust. Victor Gonzalez is okay. Birdie's been okay. It's a lot of okay arms. There's no one arm you fear coming out of the bullpen. Again, Clay Holmes, inconsistent. Ian Hamilton is your only reliable reliever. And again, as I say, there's no one pitcher that, opponents fear coming out of that bullpen saying, oh crap, we're going to get shut down tonight. Everybody's thinking, you know what, we might have a chance against them. That's my honest opinion.
Any updates on Garrett Cole?
I know he was throwing in New York and he did not have any setbacks. I don't know what the distance was, but he was just throwing recently and he did not have any pain or soreness.
Okay,
Jacob
cool.
Petruzzi, what's going on? Tommy.
Coach, you got any thoughts on the Yankees?
No, I think you guys covered everything.
Cool. So what's that other baseball team? The Mets. The Mets won
tonight again.
The Mets won. Yeah, the Mets won.
He did not say what's that other baseball team.
Yo, put some respect on my Mets, son. Stop playing.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait.
Let's go Phillies. Let's go Phillies.
Oh man, this is New York channel to Coach. Come on, respect.
Yo, man, we got to throw jabs, man. If y'all gonna throw jabs at my Nets, I'm gonna throw jabs at all these other teams.
That's a fact, bro. Like, yeah, we're gonna throw jabs at the in stadium soccer team. Everybody, bro.
Rob Kemp said it best. He said, we got clips for text. We like pits for pets. We got the Giants and Jets, the Knicks, Yanks, and Mets. The Nets was nowhere in that sentence. So it's not us taking shots. It's just facts.
Man.
Yo, NYG.
Disrespectful.
Between the Jets, the Nets, and the Mets, bro. Like, I think, listen, it's all amount of trash that you want, bro. Like, this is ridiculous.
Their footwork is terrible. NYG.
What's
the deal with with hockey? I know they're getting ready. The regular season is just about over with, but touch
the Rangers. I got the scores. I got the scores from yesterday. So Islanders beat the Devils.
Let's go
4-1. Rangers beat the Senators 4-0. Now let me pull up the.
What's this trophy the Rangers won?
It's the President's
Trophy.
That's the clinching the best record.
Best
in the
record,
NHL.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm an Islanders fan and not a Rangers fan because my family descends from the island of Puerto Rico, but I'm a New York Rican, so New York Islanders just goes naturally. You feel me? Most people from the Caribbean who rep New York teams, we rep the New York Islanders. Because it just makes sense.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Nah, facts, Lou. Man. Like I definitely heard
that. Whatever, Lou. My family's from the islands, and I was born in New York, but I don't rep no Islanders.
But
the Islanders,
you a New York Islanders hat to go with you when they was out back in the day.
Nope.
Stop lying, son.
No, I didn't. It was always either the Devils or the Rangers for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. It always was.
All right, we got the standings right here. As you can see, the Rangers #1 in the conference. Islanders right here, and then the Capitals coming in last. Devils didn't make it. Not a good season for the Devils, but got 2 New York teams in there: Rangers, Islanders.
Of course, it's not a good season for the Devils. God about to come back in a minute. It's over.
My favorite, obviously, is the Rangers to win this thing. Carolina's dangerous. Not gonna lie, that's a dangerous team. If you don't watch hockey, they are really, really good. So
Which
the
is
Panthers.
crazy to me because it barely snows over here.
Well, it's the Hurricanes. Hurricane.
Right, but it's a hockey team.
But the Florida Panthers then.
Florida, you damn sure ain't getting no snow in Florida.
Well, yeah.
Good point, coach.
Florida, LA. I mean, come on now. I'm like, remember,
you way more likely to get snow in Carolina than in Florida.
I ain't gonna lie. You get snow in Florida and in California.
Can I add something real quick?
The human race is over. Like,
can I add something real quick?
Yeah, what's up, Luca? Go ahead.
I said this on my Instagram story, and a good guy, Jets fan, who actually is a Knicks Rangers fan, mentioned this on Twitter. I'm like, this is interesting because I brought this up on my Insta story. The last time the Rangers won the President's Trophy was 1994. They won the Stanley Cup Finals. In that same season, the Knicks were the number 2 seed and went to the finals against the Houston Rockets. They lost. Shades of 94? Question mark.
Didn't I bring that up, my man, Luca? I said the exact same thing, word for word, like
40 minutes ago.
40, yeah.
Yeah, he did say the same thing 40 minutes ago. The problem with this equation is going to end with the Knicks failing, bro. That's what it's going to end with.
Nah, it's going to be different. This time the Knicks win, the Rangers lose. Islanders take that thing.
Oh, man, nah, man. Shout out to the Rangers, though, man. That's my squad, man. They brought home the chip when somebody else couldn't get it done. So,
hey, you know
always respect the Rangers. Always.
Man, you was never a Nets fan till they came to Brooklyn. Stop it. Stop.
Hey,
Lou, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Look.
You know what?
I knew more about the Nets than when they was in Jersey.
Look here.
Nets came to Brooklyn.
If the Nets would have moved to the Bronx, you would have been a Nets fan. Y'all just mad because they came to Brooklyn. That's all. Quit hating. Get out of
here. So wait a minute. NYG.
Next to somebody else.
NYG. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Because when they was in Jersey, I live in Jersey. Been in Jersey 50 some odd years. So why didn't I become a Nets fan, huh?
I don't know, Coach. I don't know. I was talking to Lou.
No, but you talking about because they came when they came to they went to the Bronx. He would.
I was talking to Lou. Yeah,
he wants to ignore your statement because he antithesis of what he did.
Exactly.
I ain't gonna lie, Coach. That's one of the many mistakes that you will regret in this lifetime. Not co-signing the Nets when you were supposed.
Never. Because you want to know the truth, Leaf? You want to know the truth? I was actually a Lakers fan before I was a Knicks fan. And one of the biggest reasons. No, low. Magic Johnson is probably one of my all-time favorite players.
Best of all time.
So, and I grew up, seeing that. And then when him and Bird came into the league, and Kareem and Norm Nixon and Byron Scott and Jamal. I knew all them Lakers back then. So, and it's just that back then, it's just I saw the Knicks. And I saw them, and then when they got Bernard King is my all-time favorite NBA player, hands down. Broke my heart when he went to Washington. So, and that's when I fell in love with the Knicks.
Yeah, Mosley, they popping champagne early. They done already won the championship. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa, what?
Hey, NBA Finals is good enough for them,
bro. You fell in love with the Knicks when they started lying to the fan base, talking about they was gonna win a championship with Patrick Ewing.
Did I say
That's
I
what
fell in love?
happened.
Did you hear me say that, Leaf? Don't put words in my mouth, damn it. I said I fell in love with Bernard King.
Right,
King. The
right.
King went, and you want to know what? You want to know what? And one of my all-time other favorite Knicks player is Ken the Animal Bannister.
All
No,
right.
yeah. I fell in love with that team. Roy Sparrow. I mean, Louis
Rory
Orr.
Sparrow. I
I
remember
mean,
them. I
yeah.
remember
So
Rory Sparrow.
and
Yeah.
they were grimy. They were gritty. They had some players that were no talent. And to be honest with you, they kind of mimic me
Had
because
no talent.
I can't play basketball. I admit it. I cannot play basketball one lick,
Running
and
around
that's
out
why
on the
I
court
ain't
with
gonna
no
lie.
talent.
Yeah. I'm definitely retired, man. I got foot problems for sure. But
Jailhouse all day.
I. I'm gonna just put this on Knicks fans within the sound of my voice. Since 1980, the Knicks have spent over 180 billion dollars in free agency and signings and since that time, and they have nothing to show for it.
okay. And what do the Nets have to show for it?
Well, we ain't spent nowhere near
Doesn't
180
matter.
billion
You
dollars.
talk about you got to make money to be in. You got to spend that money. You got to spend that money to
Yeah,
at
yeah, yeah,
least.
yeah. But you got to have something to show for it if you're gonna spend all that money,
The
though. Come on.
Okay, what you
the
know what? Nah, I'm not getting into it. I'm not getting into it. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave
even
it alone. I'm gonna
Exactly.
leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone because
On the
nah,
screen.
no,
I don't
because
know why we're
he
talking about
talk
1980.
no. Well, Luca, I'm much older than every last one of
No,
y'all.
no,
Come on, bro.
I know. But I'm saying, like,
New
let's
York
talk.
Knicks is
Let's
about
talk
to
about now.
hand
Oh.
The Knicks have
All
made
right,
the playoffs
Luca.
in the last
Wait,
four seasons.
Hold on a second. Hold on. I gotta do this. Okay. All right, Luca. Here you go. Yes, cheers, brother. Let's talk about now.
Okay. I have a thing of apple juice, but it doesn't matter. I'm just saying, Knicks made the playoffs 3 of the last 4 seasons. They have a competent front office. They have a coach that I'm proud of. They have a superstar in Brunson. I mean, what's there to be mad about if you're a Knicks fan? Obviously, the past is the past. You can't change the past. Let's
because
change
they're
the future.
Knick fans.
But but
They're
but
always
but
mad. Tell them
here's the
why you
problem.
mad, son. Tell them why you mad.
The problem is, Luca, the past affects everything that happens in their future. You know why, bro? Because the reality is that they're paying for what they got away with in 1985 in the draft lottery, bro. Like that's one of the main things why the Knicks are going through what they're going through, and why the Knicks are always going to remain
And the
10 to
reason
10
that the
to
New
10
York Knicks are
10
gonna
stories
do
deep
this right
in the
here.
dump. Listen, it is
Everybody.
the KD, Kyrie, and James Harden being here doesn't put a candle to the $180 billion that they have spent since 1980 all the way till now.
It's good.
It doesn't even touch that. I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
sorry. It just doesn't,
Okay.
bro. Like
Okay.
it just
Okay.
doesn't.
Okay. No problem. We spent money. All right. But Knicks are and they always say the same thing. The NBA is
I
good
don't.
when the
Let me
Knicks are
ask this:
relevant.
if we're so lucky with that 1985 Patrick Ewing pick, the Pelicans have had 3. If I'm not mistaken, 3 or close to 3. Number 1 overall picks. They wasted Anthony Davis's career. He's on the Lakers. I mean, at least they're a little bit successful with Zion, but they never really did anything with Chris Paul. So
The
there you
thing about
go. The
the
Spurs
thing
3
yeah,
times.
yeah,
Their
I
number 1
understand. I
overall
understand
pick.
that, Luca. I understand that, Luca. The problem is y'all have been in the league since the '40s, and y'all have produced literally more shipment than the Philadelphia Phillies, bro. Like if I'm not mistaken, that's one of the most
Oh
losing
Lord. Oh
franchises of
Lord.
all time. Like so like y'all produced more shipment, bro. Like over 80 years, almost 80
How long have
years,
you been
man.
a Nets fan, Leaf? How long have you been a Nets fan?
I've been a Nets fan since they got in Brooklyn.
And
I'm lying.
prior
I've been a Nets fan since they got Vince Carter.
and prior to the Nets, who were you a fan of?
Prior to
The
what's that
Nets.
now? Prior
Prior
to the
to the
Nets.
Nets. So you're
Pri-
saying you were a New Jersey Nets fan. At least you're saying that. So I'll
yeah.
give. But prior to that, who you a fan of?
Prior to that, I wasn't a fan of nobody. I was watching the Knicks
Oh.
blow the dope in the '90s. That's what I was doing.
Okay. Okay. No problem.
Coach act like it's it's like the Knicks. If you're in New York, we're all born in Brooklyn.
No,
Hold
no,
on,
no, no,
hold
no,
on, hold on,
no,
hold
no,
on.
no,
No,
no.
let me
No,
talk.
what it is
Hold on.
you guys as
No.
Nets fans are totally
We
tearing
are
and trying.
born in Brooklyn, New York City, right? What team plays in New York City? What team are they showing on freaking television?
The
Okay.
Knicks.
All right. So what do you want me to do? If I want to watch
No,
basketball, that's the team that's on the
that's
fucking
not. That's no,
TV.
no,
That
no.
was the
What it
team you
is,
cheered
what
for,
it
sir.
is.
That's
The
the
way
team that was
that you
on the
guys are, the
television.
way, like you are making it seem like the Knicks are the worst NBA team ever. I will
No,
say this:
I
since
don't. I
James
don't dog the
Dolan
Knicks
has
like
been in
that.
ownership,
But
in ownership, I've had my, you know, that NYG. I've
mhm.
had my issues with Dolan, and he's created such great dysfunction with this organization. Prior to
It
that,
has.
it wasn't dysfunction. It was not dysfunction.
How long Dolan had the team?
Since
James
the late
Dolan,
90s.
yes, no. When his father died in, no, it was late '90s, early 2000s, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
But the one
So,
thing you got to, again, I don't like Dolan either, coach. But the one
hmm
thing you got to give him credit for,
hmm
he's backed off. He's
oh,
had a
this year I said that,
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
said
yeah.
that this year he's definitely
I,
backed off.
I would definitely give him credit for backing off. But listen, it's not that we act like the Knicks are the worst franchise ever. It's that the Knicks, in terms of the four major sports, in terms of the amount of time that they have been around compared to all the other teams that have been losing for as long as they have, the Knicks are right up there with the Philadelphia Phillies, bro. Like it's just these are just facts. They have been disappointing the fans of this city for way too long.
For a
It's time to
Disappointing.
long time.
I will agree to that. Yes, I
Oh
will
yeah, of
agree
course, yeah.
to the disappointment. Yes, it's just that, like I said, it's the way that you got. Because to me, if you want to be honest, like I've been following the Nets. I've been following the Nets since they left Long Island. Yeah, you can hit me with Dr. J and the Knicks and all this and that, but the Nets were an atrocity for, I'm sorry, far longer than the Knicks. Far longer, and they have their hit and misses. They come up, and you talk about disappointment. I mean, you go back to, right when they were getting Kenny Anderson, Derek, and then they disappear. Then they get Jason Kidd, and then they disappear. So if we're gonna be fair about it, be fair. If you want to say the Knicks are a big disappointment, the Nets are as equally as a
I'm gonna be
disappointment.
fair. Since you measuring it by NBA
uh,
finals, the Nets. Hold on.
It's
The Nets went to back-to-back finals in the 2000s, right?
mhm.
Um, and to be honest with you, the Nets have been more consistent in the playoffs as of recent. Well, just not this recent, but before y'all got Brunson, basically.
Mhm.
So to
Okay, yeah, that's
me,
fair.
all your success basically is in the past couple years. What you're talking about, since then, y'all been ass.
We
Outside of
weren't
that 1990,
successful.
outside of that one
if
season,
I'm not
y'all went to the
mistaken,
finals in '99.
if I'm not mistaken, that listen, if I'm not mistaken, they have tied the record for most consecutive 50 loss seasons in a row. If I'm not mistaken, I gotta go check that because y'all have five of them in a row where
That's
y'all
all I'm
lost
saying. To
50
be
over 50
honest with you,
games.
to keep it
I don't
100
think
But
with
the Nets.
y'all,
you just said
I don't think the Nets have touched that. That's just me. But like, you might could go back to the '80s, the '90s. They've been somewhat relevant, even with the passing
and
of
the
Dragic,
Knicks weren't was
Petrovic.
relevant in the
No,
'90s.
not the '90s. The Knicks had that, but that's one of their most
the Nets was
relevant
relevant in
decades
the
of
'90s too, though.
basketball.
He's right.
Like outside of the '70s and the '90s, that's some of their most relevant
The
eras.
'80s when Bernard King was there, the Knicks were as competitive. And that's what I'm saying. Now I'm not saying winning championships. I'm not saying that, but we're talking about playoffs. The Knicks were there too. Like that's what I'm saying. I'm like the way you're presenting it, it's like the Knicks are an atrocity. That's why I keep saying this.
The
Like they're an
way you're
atrocity.
presenting is that is as if the Knicks are above the Nets. To be honest with you, it's about damn even because ain't neither one
I
of them done
just
shit.
said that, NYG.
The
Did
Knicks
I
have won
just
the top pick once. The Nets have won the top pick 3 times.
I think
that's a
we
good
won it. I
point.
think we only won it
You
twice.
know the
Actually.
NBA has a lottery, right, Lou?
Yeah.
So
all
it's
this
not.
shit is
It's
fucking
Wait a minute. The Nets had the number one overall draft. You had what?
I think
Who
we
was
had
it?
Derek Coleman and
Coleman.
Kenya Martin.
What?
Derek
yeah,
Coleman and Kenya
Yeah.
Martin.
yeah. I remember that. Yep.
I mean, but Derek Coleman and Kenya Martin don't touch a candle to what Patrick Ewing was, bro. Like for that
Okay,
for that.
and you want
Y'all forget it's New York. The mob been paying niggas to take dives and shake
I mean there's so many, like we could go back and forth. We can go back and forth. Like I can hit you with, damn, the Nets got swept in the NBA finals. I
That's
mean and the
you
Knicks.
said you said
all
make
this
the
shit. If
finals
you
No,
though.
no, no,
If
no.
I'm not mistaken, the Knicks did
all of
two in
these New
'99,
York,
bro. I mean,
listen,
No, we didn't. We lost. We lost.
they won one game. Did they
We
lose?
won
They
one
won one
game.
game.
Got
We won
swept.
game.
guys,
No,
Y'all
They won
get
one
against
game in
San
that
swept.
Antonio.
finals.
Against San Antonio, we won one game.
Y'all
Hold
got
up,
One
hold
game.
up.
swept.
y'all some
I think they got
hard.
swept
They
that
won
year.
game 4. They won game 4.
They
Thank
won
you.
game 4.
Listen,
I don't even
all
remember
of
that.
us
Hold
know.
up. I got to go back to that. They might be lying about that. Hold on.
All
Wait a
of
Okay.
us know, as New Yorkers and people from Jersey, that the 5 families have had their hands in all the sports for the longest. All of this shit is rigged if you dig deep enough. There's been points saved, there's been games thrown, there's been dives taken, there's been all kinds of shit happening in the sports world behind the scenes for years.
So Lou, so that explains the reason why the Knicks been haven't brought a crown to New York for
No,
years.
no. But I'm just saying, if you dig deep enough in all of these sports, because NYG say, the NBA has a lottery, right? And so I'm just saying, like, all of these motherfucking shits have been tampered with at some point, at some level. All of them.
They have. I
And
mean, yeah,
YG is
they do.
Captain Conspiracy. I do admit that he is Captain Conspiracy.
I
Hey,
could be
man.
Captain Conspiracy every
All
now
I
and again
do,
as well.
all I do is question. I ask questions. That's all.
Said I ask
Some
questions.
No,
people
you
just take
question.
shit
You
for
even
granted.
said it. You
I
said it
ask questions.
yourself. You said it. You believe in conspiracy theories, bro. Come on,
That
stop
because
it.
that's the label they put on us. All
Yeah.
I am is a question
When
asker,
you
a
when
free
you
thinker.
start to research for facts and you start finding out shit and you expose
You're a
it, then that's
conspiracy
when they
theorist.
come up
Yeah.
with the word conspiracy theorist, because they ain't start using that word until the JFK assassination
Mm.
to cover up.
That is a fact. You're absolutely right about that, Lou. But
Yeah.
now that we have that word, man, we could dig a little bit deeper, like
Just
you
like the
said.
toxic masculinity word that they like to throw around. That was a term invented by prison psychologists when trying to investigate the most violent criminals. And the feminist movement got a hold of it and started using it against men and all
Yeah,
kinds of foolishness.
yeah,
Now,
you're
when you want the
absolutely
cops
right.
to come and save your ass, you don't want no effeminate cop to come rescue you in the gunfight. You want a toxically masculine male, don't you? Okay.
All right.
All right, man.
But
I'm
let me
good.
I'm gonna let everybody get their last words in, and then we're gonna hit Coach's Corner, and then we dip it.
Yeah, definitely. YouTube.com
For
forward.
real, Luca's like, what the hell?
Yeah. Nah. But youtube.com / athlete 4788, man. I met my 65 game incentive by calling the bum ass Nets this year. The Knicks is
That's
10
what's up.
times. The Knicks are, even with their 50-win season, they are 10 times worse than the Nets will ever be. Just to let Knicks fans know that. Play.
He gonna have to revisit that statement.
Also playback.tv. I'm on playback now at Leaf 4788 on there. Also on Twitter, Leaf 4788, man. Follow all of those streams, man. Shout out to everybody up here. Shout out to Pop for letting me up. Shout out
No
to
doubt,
Coach,
no
man.
doubt.
Shout out to Lou. And shout out to Luca, who just so happens to be a Knicks and a Jets fans, man, just like my dad. My dad, who has been struggling for 60 years to watch these teams come into prominence, man. Yeah, and it's just a sad story. It's just a sad story.
Something else,
So
man.
Exactly. Yo, Leave, I love you, bro, man. You the greatest, man. I have to admit, man.
I have to make sure certain New York fans know about themselves at all times. Like
That man come on here and take shots at his own father. Yo, it's like
I'm saying.
he said, man, come on here and take shots at himself.
Yeah,
I have to make it known, bro, that I let New York fans know every day about themselves, man. Listen,
seriously.
that motherfucker got no home training.
nah, but shout out all of y'all, man. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all in the meantime, in between time, man. Y'all stay safe, man.
You be
No
safe
doubt,
too,
man.
brother.
Appreciate you, man.
Always.
Of course.
Sub up to Leaf Diggy, man. That's my bro, man, covering all things Nets, all things NBA, really, man. Brothers got a channel, up and coming channel, man. It's popping, man. Y'all go sub up to
Definitely.
Leaf Diggy. Luca, what you got for us, bro?
I mean, by the way, just going to mention this now. I'm planning to buy tickets to Game 2 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals, Knicks and whoever they play. So I'll be most likely at the Garden Game 2. Hopefully it's Wednesday.
You see Spike Lee yank his ass out the arena.
What Spike do?
That man's a jinx.
I think he's also a fake Knicks fan, partly.
No
Knicks fan, in my opinion, no Knicks fan goes into a Nets playoff game and wears all Nets stuff.
Yeah,
like
that doesn't work that way.
If you see him, put him in the fucking bathroom. I don't want his face looking at my basketball court. Put him in the fucking bathroom.
I'd say Stephen A is more of a jinx.
Now there, well, I agree.
He's a jinx for real. Yeah.
Now Spike, no, because I wondered. I was like, did he lose a bet or something? That's why he has to do that. Because I'm used to seeing Spike always in Knicks gear, so that's why. And I've never thought of him as a jinx. And I mean, he was there back when they won the championship. So,
man, he's the reason we lost. He pissing off freaking Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
Pissed me off that game. He was talking shit to Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller came out.
Well, Lou, I'll be honest with you. The type of coach I am, type of player I was, you probably been pissed at me because I'd have been talking to his dumb ass, his damn string bean ass too. Like you
Reggie said, "I got something for your ass."
Yeah, you lucky my fat ass don't play because you damn catch a damn forearm right through the throat.
Shit, they wasn't messing with Reggie. Reggie had them Davis boys, man, protecting him. He had two big ass bodyguards.
I was a kid. I'm in the bars with grown men yelling at the top of my lungs, cursing these motherfuckers out on the TV. Like, yo, man, that's
yo, man. I'm sorry, Luca. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, Luca.
No, I was saying, going to the game, but you know what? I've been seeing this popular question: who do you want to face, Miami or Brooklyn? Not Brooklyn. I'm sorry, Philadelphia. I don't care. I honestly don't. If you really went down to the core and asked me, I want my revenge in Miami. But to me, it's like just win. Each matchup has their own difficulties. Okay, Namor. I don't know if they're going to win the championship.
The bets to validate it even more.
Of course, you're going to have to beat really tough teams to end up, getting to where you want to be. And obviously that's a championship. Now, do I think the Knicks are going to win a finals this year? No. I would love if they did it, but let's talk realistically. This first round, you got two really experienced playoff teams. You have the Miami Heat. You have the Philadelphia 76ers. We are also experienced. Jalen Brunson, playoff experience. Donnie DiVincenzo, playoff experience with the Bucks and Warriors. OG Anunoby, playoff experience with the Raptors. You have Josh Hart.
The young lion beats the old lion and takes over the pride.
Go ahead, Luca.
Let's see. Let's go through the lineup. Isaiah Hartenstein now has still his playoff experience. I can't think of one guy that doesn't have playoff experience under their belt with the Knicks. Bogdanovich with the Jazz, the Nets, the Pacers. He's experienced. Mitchell Robinson. You can't sit here and tell me and say, oh well, the Knicks don't have experience. They do, and that's obviously. And you know what? Here's another big thing: the additions of Anunoby and DiVincenzo alone helped this team because you had RJ Barrett last year, but he wasn't consistent in the playoffs. Let's be fair. Julius Randle wasn't consistent either. But you know what? Here's the thing: the Knicks finally have an elite defensive wing to cover the best offensive player on the other team. I want to see Jimmy Butler. I want to see an Anunoby be put on Jimmy Butler. I'd love to just sit with back with my popcorn and just watch that happen because I bet OG would tighten Jimmy up.
You think he's gonna shut Jimmy down?
I think he would.
Interesting.
Shut him down is one thing, but
I don't
be a
know because
pass.
playoff Jimmy's different. That's a different dude in the playoffs.
But do you think he can give him problems and call and not allow him to run off? Yes, I do think that he's not going to go out there and get 35, 40 points
No.
every game. No, he's going to, OG is going to be out there, and this team defensively is going to give him problems too. So I get it. I understand. Like Lucas said, it goes both ways. So and. Don't care. Just line them up. Let's go.
I'm about
And
to get out of here,
we have
fellas. I
a
can't
more
be late
consistent.
tomorrow, so
All right, Lou.
appreciate you guys. Have a good one,
Lou.
Luca, NYG, Coach. Good night, fellas.
No, man. Be safe.
I was also going
Alright,
to say,
Lou.
we have more consistent shooters. Bogdanovich is catching fire of late.
Mhm.
Perfect timing. Donnie DiVincenzo. What a year he's had. It's ridiculous that I saw, if you didn't see today, the NBA left him off the most improved ballot because he missed 9 seconds of the marker. Now,
What?
you look at the rule.
Yes.
9 seconds.
Kenny, coach,
Yeah.
Yes.
NYG, dead ass. I really looked at it. I agree with in principle, I agree with the 65 game rule. I agree with it. But they didn't consider 9 seconds of what he had remaining on his minutes a game for whatever reason.
But
even though this guy was a constant and played 81 games.
now, didn't they say they did not count 17 of games that he did play in, or something to that effect? Or did I misunderstand that?
It was 9 seconds they left off, but the same thing happened with Hartenstein too. Whether he's going to get all defensive votes, I have no clue. But it's just the semantics with the seconds. It doesn't make any sense because Hartenstein played in 75 games. DiVincenzo played in 81.
Thank you.
I really don't get the semantics with that. It's a game is a game.
If
he played a decent amount of minutes,
games,
he played in 81 games, and that's why I'm saying. I thought the rule was you have to play in 65 games, minimum of 65 games. So that's why I didn't.
How's he not eligible? Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, how can a player not be eligible? Forget the seconds. He played in the games.
Exactly.
And that's what I didn't understand. So it was just
that's weird.
I saw that too, Luca, and a couple people were trying to explain. I'm and I read it and I kept reading it, and I'm they didn't include 17 games or something to that effect. And I'm why are you not counting the games that he did play? Whether it was 20 minutes or 19 minutes and some odd seconds, or he played.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's not like he played 1 minute. He's not like this bench warmer.
Exactly.
He literally. All right, so I have the full thing on here, ESPN, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Dante DiVincenzo played in 81 of 82 games, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
The league, he finished the game with 62. Let's see. All right. However, for a game to count toward a total, players have to log at least 20 minutes of playing time. Are you serious? I didn't even know about that.
So that's how they got him, because he ain't play enough minutes per game.
But
that's ridiculous.
But now let's just say, for argument's sake, what you're also telling coaches, right? If you're blowing out a team, let's be honest. If teams are blowing out a team, you got to leave these players in and just continue. And it's like, wait a minute. What's the context of the game? What's going on? Why did he come? It's not like his injury. It's not load management. Exactly. That's the thing. It's not injury or load management. I get those two. But if he played and the coaches pulled him out for whatever reason, what's the context of all the games? That's why, to me, it was just, I said to myself, he played in 81 damn games. No matter what, he played in 81 games. Why is he not being considered? And that's why it threw me. It was just the seconds, and I'm like, what? And, yeah, I saw that. I was just like, oh, man. Go ahead, man. You got it. Sorry.
65 games. They should have just left it that. If you played 65 games and if the what do you call it? The people who do the scouting and looking at the games and watching the games say, hey, you know what? This guy came out of this game because of this team blowing out the other team. Like, they got to look at this crap with context. Like, the Knicks were blowing. Look at January. The Knicks were blowing teams out. I'm not gonna say every night, but they blew out the Sixers by 40. They recently just blew out the Boston Celtics. Are you going to keep Dante DiVincenzo and risk injury just so he could get an award or I guess consideration? It makes no sense.
Thank you. You play 80, first and foremost, 81 games when you have other superstars not playing 60 games. That was the whole point. You're talking about the load management. It's not just, Embiid, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard. We go down the list, and you got a guy playing 81 games. And you turn around and say he's not out, man, whatever, man. It's just, NBA, you lost me on that one. You did. So.
Yeah, most definitely, man. But we're gonna go ahead and get to Coach's Corner. If you got any last words, Luca, you can stay on if you like to and check out what Coach has to say, man. Always bring some good stuff with WNBA and college sports. But
I just want to say real quick, thank you guys for having me on. I did try again. I tried to make it on after the Yankee game. I did. I'm glad I talked with y'all, whether it was Jets or a little bit of Knicks. But you guys do a great job, guys. If you're new here, hit up NYG's channel. Hit the subscribe button. Same for Coach Ed. Coach Ed is awesome. And as I told Coach Ed, we're going to try to have him on for some more playoff games. But my mission right now is tomorrow buying tickets to go see Game 2 at the Garden.
I ain't mad at you, Brule. Go ahead, bro.
Awesome.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Man. Appreciate
Thanks,
you, man.
guys.
Definitely go hit up Big Blue in the Bronx, man. Alex, Luca, man, and the whole gang. John over there, man. They do a great job over there, man. Covering all the sports, man, kind of like we do over here, man. So definitely a great job by those fellas, man. But Coach's Corner, man, and we had an action-packed show tonight, man. Good stuff, man. Good stuff, man. We're gonna wrap it up with Coach's Corner.
And shout out to everyone today. I appreciate everyone on the panel, in the chat, everyone being here, supporting. Thank you. Those who are watching, shout out to, I know some of my peeps are on here, just in case anybody's wondering what's my avatar. It's for, a couple of my players. One of them is like, Coach, you still don't rep the Hurricanes. I'm like, all right, I'm going to do something for y'all. So, if he's watching, there you go. So, but I'm going to start with the W, man, because, WNBA just had their draft, a lot going on, there. We touched, a lot of it there. I hit you with the Caitlin Clark, her jersey selling out in an hour. It already points the impact. Lee talked about how many games on TV, they're already being sold out for. Talked about future ventures in terms of ownership. Here's one little tidbit that I found very interesting. Serena Williams, she was quoted as saying that she's super interested in owning a WNBA team, and I love that idea. Getting one of the greatest tennis players to be involved, a Black woman, a mother, someone well recognized, well respected. So, let her get involved in that, and it also helps, draw the interest into, the W. Lee talked a little bit about the viewership, with the of watching the draft. They drew 2.45 million viewers, smashing the previous record in the 2004 draft that had Diana Taurasi. That had 601 viewers. So, just think about that right there in itself. They had 601 that would watch a WNBA draft, and now you have 2.45 million viewers. So that's the importance of this draft class and what they're doing. The most to ever watch a broadcasted WNBA event was actually the New York Liberty versus the Houston Comets back in 2000. And that was
That was the
right here.
Lobo Cheryl
Cheryl Swoops, yes.
Her team,
And I think it was the playoff game too.
Yeah.
The playoff series. But I think it's that has a record. I think it was I didn't write it. I thought I wrote it down, but I'm sorry if I didn't. But I think it was over 2.5 mil. So, but the point being is, that draft drew a lot, and it's a great thing. So there was on Bleacher Report, Rachel Gallinani, Gallegani. I don't know if I said her name right. I'm sorry, but she gave her power rankings post draft, and I found it very interesting, which is why I wanted to just highlight this real quick. She gave her power rankings. The Chicago Sky she has coming in at 12, and there's only 12 teams in the W. And I was just like, whoa, wait a minute, the Sky, but.
Why?
I mean, yeah, you have Angel Reese, you have Camila Cardoza, you have some, good talent there, and they were in the playoffs last year, but, she has them coming in last. So maybe it's because of the youth. That's a possibility. I didn't listen. I was just seeing how, her postings, but she has the Sky coming in 12, the Washington Mystics coming in 11, the Los Angeles Sparks coming in at 10, the Indiana Fever coming in at 9, the Atlanta Dream at 8, the Minnesota Lynx at 7, the Phoenix Mercury at 6, the Seattle Storms at 5, the Dallas Wings at 4, the Connecticut Sun at 2, the Sun at 3, the Liberty at 2, and the Aces at 1. So, I was just like, oh, that's very interesting. Some of them I found, Indiana was one of the ones I was like, because it's a young team, I thought maybe they would have been a little bit lower, but there are other teams that the Sparks, they lost a lot of players. They lost Chene and NECA Omogue. I always mess up their names. NECA went up to Seattle. Cheney's doing her broadcasting. So and I understand the Phoenix Mercury. The Mercury, they also got Kalia Copper. They got a good amount of players there. It wouldn't surprise me if they ended up as high as number 4, based on the rankings, in the future. So, I just felt that very interesting in terms of, the WNBA. And just so, those who may not have seen or followed, I'm just going to give you the first round in terms of who was drafted. It's on Bleacher Report. So if you want to see the full 3 rounds, you can go ahead and take a look at it. And Caitlin Clark was number 1 to the Indiana Fever. The Cameron Brink, shout out to Cameron, man. That dress was something fierce. She went number 2 to the Los Angeles Sparks. Camila Cardosa went number 3 to the Chicago Sky. Rakia Jackson went number 4 to the Sparks. J.C. Sheldon went number 5 to the Dallas Wings. Aaliyah Edwards from UConn went to the Washington Mystics at 6.
I'm gonna help you out, Coach.
Yeah.
Hold up.
What's up?
No, I'm gonna pull up the.
Oh, you put it up? Okay, go ahead. I mean, if you can, I can pull it up right here. I can share what I have. Okay, there you go. You got it. Okay, so I think where was I at to also?
Hold on, I got you. All right.
I was at Washington. Aaliyah Edwards. 7 is Chicago Sky with Angel Reese. And her dress? Woo! Her dress? I just strongly suggest you go take a look at her dress. She had the dress of the whole event. So number 8 was the Minnesota Lynx, Alyssa Peely, Samoan woman. So I was definitely pleased to see that. Number 9 was the Dallas Wings with Carla Leite. The Connecticut Suns at 10 took Leela Lincoln. The Liberty took Marquisha Davis at 11, and the Dream, via trade with the Aces, took I can't say that D Pooch from Australia. So
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, it's just I saw that and I was just like I can't. But that's what it was. It was a great night in the W. So shout out to everyone who supported, and I'm looking for bigger and brighter things in reference to that aspect in the W. So now I'm going to get into a little bit of the college, and I'm going to start with Syracuse. A couple of things that happened going on with Syracuse. Come on, here we go. All right, the football program. The football received a commitment Monday from 2026 linebacker safety Isaiah Williams. With this, they're currently ranked at number 9 by Rivals and number 10 by 247 in the whole country in terms of recruiting rankings. Williams, he attended Tavares High School in Tavares, Florida. He picked up the scholarship offer from Syracuse back in February, but he went through his things, and he initially gave a verbal commitment to Louisville, but then he reopened his commitment, which opened up the opportunity from Syracuse. He also had offers from Syracuse, Louisville, USF, Ole Miss, Western Kentucky, Iowa State, and Florida A&M. So and within the 2026 class, On3 ranks him at number 49, number 5 as far as the safety, and number 6 in Florida. So, he's definitely a good pickup. They also got a grad transfer, Notre Dame cornerback Clarence Lewis. He transferred into Syracuse from Notre Dame. He played in all 13 games, starting 2 last year. He had 1 interception, 9 tackles. In his junior season, he started 2 games. He also had 29 total tackles. So he's a 6'3", 200-pound defensive grad transfer, and he has 1 year of eligibility. So that's a good pickup for them. Experience as well as good size on the back end. So now in terms of the basketball side, they recently lost Coach Jerry McNamara. And anybody who's followed Syracuse knows McNamara going back pretty much 20 years. He was there with Carmelo back in the day. So he went on to become the head coach. But they also signed the former head coach of Mount St. Mary's, Dan Engelstad. So he's now an assistant coach. At Mount St. Mary's, he was there for 6 years, and he went to the NCAAs back in 2001. McNamara, like I said, left to go to Siena, and Engelstad has 11 seasons of head coaching experience, including stops in the NEC conference. He also won the Tournament of Champions back in 2021 with Mount St. Mary's back then. So good pickup for them in terms of adding to the coaching staff. I think that's going to help them in the long run, bring some experience to the current coaching staff there at Syracuse. So good pick. And again, congratulations to Syracuse for picking him up, and good luck to him, unless you're playing Rutgers, and what he's going to bring to the table. Now I'm going to switch over to St. John's, and just some simple news from St. John's. 2 players from St. John's, Danis Jenkins, again, Daniss, Danis Jenkins, and Joel Soriano. They were invited to go to Portsmouth Invitational. For those who don't know, the Portsmouth Invitational is a 4-day event. It's actually going to be starting tomorrow from April 17th to the 20th. But players come in and they show their wares to NBA scouts as well as international scouts. So these guys were offered the opportunity to come down and show what they have and, see what it can do for their careers. Soriano, for his time at St. John's, he finished his career as one of only 6 players to record 1,100 points and 800 rebounds in just 3 seasons with the programs. In 2022 and 23, 2022-23 season, he was the most improved player in all Big East second team selection, registered 40 double-doubles at St. John's, and he completed his career seventh on the all-time rebounding with 870 boards and 40th on the scoring list with 1,150 points. He's a 6'11 center, so and he has a shooting percentage of 57%. Jenkins was sensational in his only season. He was a 2023-24 All Big East second team selection, leading the team to their first Big East tournament semifinals in 24 years. He averaged a team high 14.9 points, 5.4 assists, third in the Big East, 1.6 steals, and he's a 6'4 guard, and he's from Dallas, Texas. So, yeah, I'm not going to hold that against him, being that he's from Dallas. So, but good luck to them tomorrow. Hope they're able to, show their wares, and get an opportunity somewhere as a professional. Now I'm going to move. There's nothing with Seton Hall. I mean, their season is done. They won the NIT. I went over that last week. There's no other news during my research. So I'm going to move on to Rutgers. In football, I mean, right now Rutgers is in spring ball. So they're prepping for the spring game that's coming up soon. But they had a little bit of injury, but it's minor injuries. Kyle Monangai, their leading rusher, and the Big Ten leading rusher from last year, he's out, and Robert Longerbeam, who's now going to be their number one cornerback now that Max Melton has moved on. So they're basically out for the rest of spring. So, but they're going to be ready for the start of training camp. Coach Shiano said it's nothing serious. He also spoke about the competition at quarterbacks. He likes what he's seeing from the quarterbacks. So they're both veterans in terms of playing in the Big Ten. So it's really going to come down to the preseason training camp, once they get past this. So, but with the spring game is going to give us a little indication of what's going on. They recently had a scrimmage, and quarterbacks were part of the biggest reason they shined, and Rutgers usually has a good defense. So, hopefully that continues to grow. And they continue to grow on the offensive side of the ball to help balance out the defense. There was a publication on the NFL Network that was talking about Max Melton, and they rated him as the 50th best player in this current draft cycle. So that's a great thing in terms of, Max Melton. And if you're in the top 50, you're basically either a first into the middle of the second round. So that's a great opportunity, because he's definitely going to make money, in that regard, but is also showing his value. So that's why when some people say, oh, he's later, I'm like, no, all indications he's at minimum, he's a second rounder. So today, redshirt junior Rene Congo, who played in 10 games with Rutgers last year, he actually entered the transfer portal. It just opened up today. So he, told New Jersey Advanced Media that, he's going to go ahead and transfer out. He's a defensive tackle, but all indications are he wants more playing time. But Coach Shiano and Coach Harris Simiak, they like rotating defensive linemen. They go 10 deep on the defensive line. So with him going out, it's a veteran, so it does hurt in that regard. But in the same token, he wants to have more playing time. From my end, or everything I heard, he's already heard from schools like Texas A&M. I think Penn State is possibly going to be reaching out to him. And it was one more school. I didn't write it down. Damn it, I thought I did. So, but, he's going to get offers, and get an opportunity. But, he wants to, get more playing time. I mean, here with Rutgers, he had 8 tackles, 2 for a loss and 1 sack, 2 quarterback hurries, and a forced fumble. And he played 189 snaps last year. So he was just going to be a rotational player. But, we have good depth: Aaron Lewis, Wes Bailey, Troy Rainey, Jordan Thompson. They're all going to be able to step up and more than adequately fill, his place. We also have some young freshmen who are going to be able to step in and take his place. So Good luck to him. Wish him the best, but it's not a devastation to Rutgers. So now I'm gonna move over to basketball. I'm gonna actually start with the women and former player Abby Streeter. She was actually here at Rutgers playing for the 2022-2023 season, where she averaged 5.6 points per game. But this past year, she was actually playing professionally overseas in Japan and in Puerto Rico. But she was actually just given her first head coaching job at Darrow Girls Prep High School basketball team in Lebanon, New York. So, that's a great accomplishment for her. As a young head coach, starting out with the high school level, especially at a prep school. So, I definitely like seeing that. And, hopefully, she's going to, do some great things up there in Lebanon, New York. So, good luck to her. Now, in terms of the men's, former Scarlet Knight men's basketball star, Caleb McConnell. He actually was part of the Oklahoma City G League team, and they won the championship on Monday. They actually beat the Maine Celtics in a the best out of a. They won the final two games of the best of three series in the G League. They defeated the Celtics 117-100 yesterday in Portland. So for the season, Caleb averaged 6.3 points per game, 5.4 rebounds, 2.2 assists, and 1.2 steals in his first year as a professional. He actually is a great defender, and that's one of the things that he did with OKC. He was a lockdown defender, and he was the winning player at the professional league level all year. He averaged just under 20 minutes a game, and he played a key role for the whole season. OKC ended the regular season, 21-13 before they went on to win the championship. So I like seeing that with Caleb. So hopefully that will springboard him, to bigger and better things somewhere in the NBA. In terms of transfers, Rutgers got another transfer this week, actually today. They received a commitment from Merrimack transfer Jordan Durkak. He was actually an all NEC player of the year. He's a 6'5", 205-pound guard out of Colonia, New Jersey. And like I said, he was a player of the year and the defensive player of the year honors after averaging 17.6 rebounds, 3.9 assists per game. Now, he's the third commitment for Coach Peichel to join the team, along with Tyson Acuff and Princeton transfer Zach Martin. So he's ranked as a four-star prospect by 247 Sports within the transfer portal, and he has 2 years of eligibility remaining. So, with all the transfers that Rutgers lost earlier, they're doing a good job of finding the right type of players to come in and fit into what they're doing, both on the offensive and the defensive side of the ball. And that's where I think he, can definitely help. He's going to end up coming off the bench. I know he wants to start, but, he's going to give good help off the bench in terms of scoring, but also helping out on the defensive end. So that's it. That's what I have this week for Coach's Corner. So back to you, NYG.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff, Coach. You was talking about McNamara from Syracuse. What was going on with him?
He got the head coaching job at Siena College. So they brought in another coach, basically who was also had head coaching experience. Because McNamara had been there for so long. He's a key figure.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say he's been there forever, man.
But hey, it's his first head coaching job, so and I understand. Hey, go do what you got to do. And they brought in another coach with head coaching experience. He's going to help the young kids there, and who knows, it's going to open up opportunities for him. But hey, it's a great opportunity for everyone across the board.
Do you think Patino leaves St. John's?
No. If you're talking about for Kentucky already hired their head coach. They got the head coach from BYU. So I don't foresee him leaving. Yeah, I think most people are going to stay away from him. Don't forget, he's in his 70s, so you
Mhm.
know,
Okay.
unless she's going down a level, I can't see him going to a blue blood like that. And if it's a lateral move, he might as well just stay at St. John's. He's in a great conference, so
Yeah.
yeah, if he was going to leave, this would have been a time to go to Kentucky if he really wanted it, if they offered him. So, and personally speaking, I think most coaches are staying away from Kentucky right now because the expectations are way too high right
Yeah.
now. You got to rebuild that program back up, and that's why Calipari left. I mean, you run out of a coach like Calipari, why would
Yeah.
why would Patino want to go there? I mean, and he's in his 70s. If you don't win a championship right off the bat, they're going to want him gone. So he's doing what
Mhm.
he needs to do in St. John's, and if he makes it to the tournament, he's going to be beloved in New York City.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A couple questions from the chat.
hmm
Iman says, "How many on a WNBA roster is it like the NBA?"
It's 12.
It's
It's
12.
only some of it also is contingent. Here's one of the things. Some teams have 11, but I think it's based off the salary. If you have a lot of superstars, then they're gonna give you 11. But if you don't, like a young team, you get 12. But the tops is 12 on the roster. That's
Mm.
why I speak highly of expansion and getting more job opportunities and raising the pay for these women. But you have 12. Sometimes last year there were games where teams had 9 players. They had 9 players on the bench because of injury. So which we as fans, as long as we continue to look at the game and attend games and buy these uniforms, it's going to force the WNBA to really invest in these women and open up other
Mhm.
opportunities. So, you know,
It helps that like NBA players are promoting it
simple.
too. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So that definitely helps, from a
Mm-hmm.
man standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
because it's just human psychology, oh, if the NBA players are, I want to see
Mm-hmm.
what, they're talking about. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the way humans are, man. So it definitely helps that you see some of the stars, not just the NBA and other sports too, promoting the WNBA. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a good thing. Iman says Reese ain't that good. She's just tall. That's what they saying. I don't know. I don't watch. Why are they saying that about Angie Reese?
Well, some of it I think is the perception. First and foremost, coming out of high
How
school,
tall is she?
she's 6'3".
Okay, that's
So and
fairly
that's
tall
tall
for
for a
women.
woman,
Yeah,
yeah, in the women's game. So she's considered a power forward
forward. Okay.
because she's not consistent with her 3-point shooting, but she wasn't asked to do that. Coming out of high school, she was the number one wing. So it
Mm.
tells you, and she's been practicing her 3-pointer. They showed a clip, and she was out there banging. She didn't miss not one, and I think she shot like 20 straight 3-pointers. So she has the ability to do it. Yeah, she has to do it in the game, but and most people look at her more as a down in the paint type of a player
Mm.
because she's very physical, she's very gritty, and she does a good job at rebounding. So yes, she does do that, but I think she has the ability to step out and hit shots, and especially when you have Cardoso going to be down low with her, it's just going to help in her game because it's going to force defenses to collapse because Cardoso is a legitimate 6'7". So teams are
She is a beast, man. That's
yes.
like out of all them girls, man. Like she's my favorite. Like
hmm
like just her game. You know what I'm saying?
hmm hmm
How
hmm
she play, man. I'm like, man, it's
And that's
girl
what
right
I mean. Six
here.
seven. Because think about it, and I think she's a lot more athletic than Brittany Griner, and Brittany Griner can play. Now, does Cardosa need to continue to develop her offensive game? Yes, yes,
Mhm.
she does. But
Okay.
I think she's more than capable of doing that, and that's going to also help Angel Reese, and they're going to be able to play off of each other back and forth, which is going to help expand their game. So,
Mhm.
but I also think that a lot there are those and everyone is entitled to their opinion and their likes, but they just don't like the persona that she plays. But when you had a coach like Coach Mulkey, who also is kind of like that, and a lot of the LSU players were like that. What do you expect? I mean, they play with an attitude, they play with a chip. So
Yeah.
and it's going to be interesting. I mean, I forgot where I saw it, but I saw that they already had projections for next year's draft. And I thought I had saved it because I wanted to talk about it, but I didn't. So, but if I see it again, I'll make sure I save it, and we could talk about it at a later date. But the women's game is starting to grow and prosper, and I'm loving it. Especially as a girl dad and a girl granddad. I love it. I really do. So, and I've been following the W since day one. I remember the official tip with Rebecca Lobo and Lisa Leslie.
Yeah, Lisa Leslie.
I
Yeah.
remember that.
Man.
So
See, I remember those days. Yeah,
mm-hmm,
when when the initial squad, when they came
mm-hmm,
through.
mm-hmm.
But
Teaspoon is
yeah.
the head coach out there in Chicago. That's another reason why I'm
Mhm.
intrigued with Chicago. Though the players that they got are going to play defense. Teaspoon is about defense.
Yeah.
So that's why I can't. And look. Oh, and we got a month. The first WNBA game is going to be May the 14th. So we got a month.
Wow.
So they're
Okay.
right around the corner. Preseason starts May the 6th or the 7th, I think. And they play 2 games and then they go right into the season. So before you know it, we're going to be here and watching all these women. I know most people want to see Caitlin Clark, and I get it. And I'm intrigued to see what she's going to do, especially with playing with Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston, played at South Carolina, played with Camilla Cardosa. She was the rookie of the year last year. So that's going to be, and Caitlin hasn't played with a low post player like that. So that could help her
Yeah.
game also. So, it's going to be interesting. So I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that, coach, man.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, man, we're gonna
Yeah.
get up out of here, man.
Long day, long night. I know.
Nah, man, you good, man. But appreciate everybody for coming through, man. Shout out to Bro Lou, man. G Nation Inside
Mm-hmm.
Sports, man. Make sure you go subscribe to G Nation Inside Sports. The brother Leaf coming
Mm-hmm.
through, man. Of course, man, the brother Luca, Big Blue in the
Mm-hmm.
Bronx, man. Shout out to them, man, and shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate you, man, coming through, man.
Damn.
Mosley, man. Iman, Nimar, Rafi, Man Cave. Who else we got in here? Brandon, Big Fan Breezy, Jose Rosario. Appreciate you coming through. Jacob, Tommy for one, Tommy, Ghost Dog, Butterfly.
Mm.
Appreciate all y'all coming through, man. Appreciate everybody coming through in the chat too, though. Of course, Chad. Yeah, I think we got everybody. Quinn Lewis, Next Shift Randy. Appreciate everybody coming through, man. But the Miz, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, man. Appreciate all y'all, man. But that being said, man, what you got coming up, Coach? What you
Tomorrow's going to be, of course, Pick and Roll podcast. Waiting to see what's going on with the games tomorrow. See who the Knicks, because more than likely I'm going to be covering a game. Whether with Man Cave. I know we talked about it. I know Mitch was talking about it, depending on if it's Philly, if we're facing them. So I know, this weekend I'll probably be covering an NBA game. And I got something special coming, hopefully soon. So not ready to announce it just as yet. So, but it's going to be exciting for me. So I really appreciate it. So, what about you? What you got going on?
Still doing my series, Unpopular Mocks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Be on the lookout for that. Next up, we got the Chargers.
Oh,
And then the Cardinal. We got the Cardinals, then the Chargers, Titans, Falcons.
thanks for reminding me. Yeah.
But
I I released quarterback number 5 in my rankings. I got number 4,
Oh yeah, I seen that. Good
4 through
breakdown,
1
man, with your
coming.
boy. With your boy Drake.
Yeah, I already got a couple people like, what's the matter, coach? Why you got him at 5? He's not 5. I'm like, that's my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion.
I might have had him. Nah, I ain't gonna put him over under Bo Nix. I ain't gonna do him like that.
Yo, you understand? I was going back and forth. It wasn't Bo Nix. It was actually him and Spencer Rattler. I was going back
I
and
was gonna
forth.
say yes, because I actually got Rattler over Knicks. I got Knicks. I got May Knicks. I mean May Rattler, and then Bo Nix. I would take.
Yeah, I think
would be the last one I would take out of those top 7 or whatever.
Yeah, where did I have yeah, I had Travis at 10, Milton at 9, Pratt, Rattler, Bo Nix. It was Bo Nix it was 6.
Yeah, you
So
had Knicks at
yeah,
6.
that's
But
what it was. It was him and Rattler. And then I have Drake May, who I just released yesterday at 5, and I have the Final 4 coming out. So I'm trying to get that done by this week. So thanks for reminding me about that.
yeah, no doubt, man. But I got that coming out. Got a Giants conversation. Of course, Sunday. That's gonna be a big one. That's gonna be the pre-draft primer, so to speak. We're gonna kind of lay out everything, give you our plans for the draft. We will be at the draft, and then we'll be streaming content, man, pretty much all next week while we're at the draft. So that's kind of the plan here coming up. But definitely keep it locked here, man. Unpopular Opinion Sports, Coach Ed, Gladney's Amazing World of Sports, man. We are heart of the city. We are the Big Blue Crew, man. So this is what we do, man, and definitely appreciate all y'all, man. We can't do this without you guys. So please like, share, subscribe, and so we can keep this thing going, man. Keep this thing rolling, man. I got some great things planned for this show, for this channel. Trust me when I say that, man. I'm actually might roll something out next week if I can get this thing queued up, man. You know what I'm saying? A little, I got a little surprise for y'all, man. But definitely, you know what I'm saying? Keep it locked here, man. Keep supporting the show, man, and that gives us the motivation to keep doing what we do, man. But that being said, man, until next time, y'all know what it is. Deuce.
Peace.